Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy No E here with Bells, and we are the podcast. Let's grab a drink.
All right, today we are interviewing our friends David and Roxana Morales with BioTechs crime scene. Hey, I can't get it
Crime
right.
and trauma scene cleaning.
Thanks, man. I'm not even started drinking that much. That's a sign I need to drink.
Right.
Okay.
She was pre-drinking before me.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting us over and taking the time to sit down with us and let us into your world.
Yeah,
This
no,
is,
for sure.
Tell us a little bit about your business.
So, it'll be 2 years now, next month. We own, obviously, a crime and trauma scene cleanup company. Every day is something different.
Yeah.
You can imagine the smells, the sights, the visions, everything.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
I'd rather not imagine.
Yeah, I'm trying not to.
Yeah. How do you get into something like that?
So, it's kind of a, and I don't want to go dark on here, but
I think you have to.
I have a, yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
I have a cousin that actually committed suicide almost 3 years ago now.
Okay. Sorry.
And, no, thank you. And at that point, we obviously needed this type of service.
Okay.
This business, it's actually a franchise, was started in San Antonio
Okay.
almost 18 years ago now by two friends of mine, actually.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, two friends of mine. I've known them probably almost 10 years maybe.
Okay.
And I've always known what they've done. I've always known about it. Just it's never been an issue, never been brought up until something like this happened.
You need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's typically the case with these type of situations.
Right.
You never know about it until you absolutely need it.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, we reached out. They were able to help our family, and my wife and I just realized that there's absolute need for this type of service.
So it was something that we're having trouble finding for your
My uncle and poor guy, he actually walked in and saw,
Okay.
my cousin, and they actually had, before speaking with me, they had actually reached out to another company,
Okay.
and the company was just real business, and it's,
Cold.
yeah, real cold, and it's not a good feeling. He just lost his son, his firstborn son,
Okay.
and then having to deal with somebody just coming at you, with this crazy amount, saying, hey, you know what? It is what it is, and what
Do you want it done or not?
What are you gonna do?
No bedside manner.
Yeah, nothing. No bedside manner, no compassion, nothing. What are you gonna do? You have to, you have to get it clean.
Right.
So then, obviously they were kind of like, man, there's a lot of money, and I don't know what to do. And then I found out what happened, and I reached out to friends of mine, and they were actually able to help them with insurance and stuff like that, and get it squared away for them. So just seeing something like that, just thinking, man, I don't want people to have to go through, what my family's going through. We say that no loved one should ever have to clean up
Right.
after another loved one. It's just something you're not gonna unsee. You're gonna always remember that,
Yeah.
and he's gonna always remember
Instead
that.
of the good things, right?
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It's just a tragic ending to a tragic situation.
Right,
basically.
right.
It's
There's
bad.
no good side to it at
Yeah,
all,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
So what does a service like that cost? Because again, you're absolutely right. I have never thought about
Yeah, I thought the government took care of stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
so a lot of people do. A lot of people think, hey, the police come and then they have somebody that
Yeah.
takes care of it, and then they come and,
Mhm.
but that's not the case. The police come, they do what they got to do, and they're gone. Somebody asks, they basically say, Google it, look up this.
So
Look up
it's never the
It's
the
never.
city
It's
or-
never the city. It's never.
Wow.
Because you could just spill on the freeway, and right away the biohazard, trucks are out there. And
Yeah. So stuff like that it's a little bit different because of it's chemical related.
Okay.
It's whether it's gas or some sort of chemical. It's a little bit different, whereas compared to our situation where it's actually, bodily fluids and you're dealing with potentially infectious diseases and stuff like that.
I've
So
been
it's a
waiting
little
to
bit
say this in brain matter.
different. And brain matter.
Sorry.
So
Yes.
technical term.
I've been making
So are you
research.
saying that whenever it's something, for example, on the street, is that also private companies or is that?
It depends. It depends on who, if it was in my driveway, then I would be responsible.
Right, and I get that, and I also get now that, of course, if it happens on private property, it's up to the owner. But that's what I'm saying. On a public road.
Public road, you'll see the fire department out there. You'll see with the hose, just hosing stuff down. They really don't do anything to clean that type of stuff. They really don't. If you see car accidents or anything like that where somebody maybe is ejected out of the car or something like that, there's really nothing they do.
Just kind of wash it off to the side.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
That goes somewhere,
Right.
I've heard stories about.
They moved on.
Yeah, I've heard stories about it, at apartment complexes or something, and they literally just, wash it into the grass, and then thinking, there's kids that play in this grass.
Man.
Like that's just, I mean, what do you
Right.
where's that gonna go? So
I guess now that you say that, and I never connected the dots, and it stays on the dark side, and actually personal too. My father passed away by an accident. Like he fell from a 3-story house that was being constructed, and it was cleaned up to a sense when we got there, or when we finally made it to where he passed, or the accident happened, and I saw like specks on the wall that were obviously not cleaned up, and I never connected it until now.
Yeah.
Like now I'm thinking like, well, obviously they just did what they had to right here, and then they didn't care about anything else.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
that's insane.
I mean, it's somebody's got to do it. Somebody professional has got to get in there
Right.
and make sure that they clean it up. And it's only children and people walking, and I mean, you don't know what somebody could possibly have or somebody could possibly spread
Right.
or anything like that. It's dangerous.
Wow. So that's what drove you guys to start it, and you
Yeah.
said it's a franchise.
So it is a franchise. So we actually got together, and it's a crazy thing. We're actually in the process of selling our house in San Antonio.
Okay.
Our house sells in 10 days.
Oh.
And I'm like, holy
Wait a minute, what? I wasn't ready.
I was like, what? I was like, crap, what do we do, right? So
Mom, can you come pick me up?
Right. So we actually ended up moving in with my parents. Because it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I couldn't even put my underwear away. I washed them like the house already sold, right?
Like, who are you guys? Oh, we bought the house.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So we actually ended up moving with my parents, and we actually made some money on the house, and we're sitting there and we're going, man, I'm kind of tired. I've always been like in the hospitality, hotel, restaurant business, and my wife worked for the Blood and Tissue Center in San Antonio there, so they would test like donor DNA, and she's been around that type of stuff before. And I thought, man, this is something we can do for ourselves, doing the business for ourselves. I was tired of.
See, I pretty much combined both of y'all's worlds now that I think about
yeah,
it.
without a doubt. So
Hospitality and
science and
So
cleanliness.
we basically just got tired of like working for other people. You know what I mean? I was so overwhelmed, like just working 50, 60 hours a week, and then a couple days off here. We had just had our daughter, and I wanted to see her grow up.
Right.
And being gone on the weekends and holidays and this and that because of work. It
And
just
then,
wasn't.
the hospitality industry is not
And
forgiving.
it's
time.
not, believe me, and I've done it since I got out of school, and it's just been a thing I kind of got used to, and I finally got to the point where I was just burned out.
Yeah.
I was over it, I was burned out. So this opportunity came up, and we basically took ourselves, us three, packed up and moved to Houston, not knowing a single person.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't know a single
So
person.
you even left your parents? Like,
Yep, my parents, her
They made
family.
you
Man, to this day they still give us crap. Yeah, to
What
this.
happened?
I'm moving out. Yeah.
Again?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to this day they still give us stuff because my daughter, that's her first grandchild. So
Only grandchild,
it's
right?
and it's more her. It's not us.
Right. They're like, leave her. Can you leave? You can leave, but leave her. Yeah.
It's more her. So it's cool though. They come and visit a lot. We go to San Antonio when we can, and everything's really, really worked out. So next month it'll be 2 years. We would have been here in Houston for 2 years.
Why Houston?
We could have went Austin,
right,
Dallas,
yeah,
Houston. Houston was obviously it's huge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity for us, but it was also closer to home. Rather than going the 5 hours to Dallas from San Antonio. Austin was just a little too close to San Antonio, business wise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I have a mom too.
You came out to Houston with the franchisor.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So Houston was a target market.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, being the 4th largest city, I think it's almost about to be the 3rd largest city. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. It has been a reality check though. I was born and raised in San Antonio my whole life. Coming to Houston and just, oh my gosh, everything is so huge.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, in San Antonio, I can get anywhere, any side of town, 45 minutes max.
Yeah.
Right.
45 minutes here, it's like, oh, we're going 20 miles.
You're going, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, holy crap, it's just,
Yeah.
it's totally different. So yeah, we just, like I said, we picked up and moved here not knowing anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
she's got one friend. I had one friend,
Okay.
and that was basically it. That's
That's
three.
cool.
Yeah, that was it.
And so from there, I mean, was it hard the transitioning? I mean, I'm pretty sure for Ms. Roxanne it was easier working with blood and tissue, but for you, like
It's
going into something like that, because
yeah.
I mean, so when JB had mentioned it, I googled it. I googled
Yeah.
like what does it entail?
Yeah.
So there was I found a documentary about this guy who
Yeah.
did that, but in California.
Okay, don't pay attention to that guy because I'm nothing like that guy.
Oh, I
you know the guy with the glasses?
Yes, I told him, I was like, he was very he had a
He's a jerk.
negative outlook
He
on
is
everything.
just everything. Please don't. I mean, that guy, his business has grown tremendously, and he's actually got like a contract with either the state of California or like one of the cities. But
Okay.
he is
He was very
nightmare.
negative,
Yes.
yeah. Like I told
He's a
him, I was like,
nightmare.
I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah.
But then it kind of makes sense though, because you're going into this industry that you're seeing nothing but
Yeah.
darkness.
I mean,
I felt
we've
felt
done
compassion for him, I guess.
we've done a ton of jobs, and we've dealt with crying families, and we've dealt with people that just said get it done. They weren't invested in the situation, and I don't think I could ever be like that guy.
Okay, thank you.
And I would never be like that
Bless your
guy
heart.
only because of the fact that our family experienced it,
Right.
and that was the whole issue we had in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that they were just straight business first, and that's just not.
He just saw it as a business opportunity. You saw it as we need it.
Yeah.
You came into it with empathy and
Right.
Yeah, you have
knowing-
to. You
yeah.
have to. And you don't know how many times, leaving a job or a situation where, family member hugs you or just says, thank you so much for what you did. And
Because it's already going to be a tough situation just having to go back into that area.
exactly. And
So-
you know what? The problem is too many times a family will clean it up. That is the worst possible situation we could ever.
Well, I did. I mean, even in that one, the brother, I think, was trying to, and he was like, it was too much for me.
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean-
I can't get that out of my head. Like, he's dealing more with that than with the actual death.
Because he'll never forget it. I tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll never forget it. To this day, we talk and she can say, oh, remember that job on such and such address? And I'll tell you exactly. I can remember it just by the address.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've done almost 500 jobs, maybe. I mean, we've done, yeah.
And that one that they were interviewing, it was a brother. He's like, I still don't see why I need to move. But every time he walks into the restroom, like that's what he pictures.
I mean, I just got an email the other day. This poor girl, her brother committed suicide in an apartment in his bedroom. She's still living there. She has nowhere to go. She's still living there. She just closes the door. She just has the door closed. So we're trying to, and I'm actually probably going to go out there either tomorrow or the next day, trying to get out there. But she doesn't. She's like, she doesn't want nobody to come out there. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. She's traumatized.
Stuff. Yeah.
And it's to be living in
And
the same
then
apartment.
grieving, and then the trauma, it's just everything.
And then, speaking to some of the family, though, there's papers in there that we need to get, this and that. But she doesn't need to go in there. She's already living there down the hall.
Right.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible, yeah.
So I see some of the gear that you have out. Like, what does that entail? What?
So we actually just did an apartment expo. We got to talk about who we are and stuff like that. And that's Bob. My daughter likes to call him Steven. But,
Steven? I like Steven.
Yeah. That's Bob. That's basically what we look like when we're doing our jobs.
Okay.
Full mask gear. Depending on the situation, we might not always need the respirator. It just depends. But I'm hood, gloves, boot covers.
You said that it was an apartment expo. So you target businesses, or
So
I'm curious about how your marketing is.
yeah, so we are a part of the Houston Apartment Association.
Okay.
Every year they have a giant expo. It's at the NRG Center.
Is that your most biggest client?
No, it's not. Apartments are probably, they obviously play a part because
It's concentration of people.
yeah, I mean things happen in apartment complexes, so
Depending on the income too.
yeah,
Figure it out.
exactly. So we try to market ourselves, put ourselves out there, and say, hey, this is what we offer, this is what we can do, just to kind of help with the apartments.
Okay.
It's mainly homes,
Residential.
yeah, residential, because of the fact that about 90% of our business comes from insurance. So there's homeowners insurance, rental insurance.
Insurance coverage for something like that?
Depending on the situation.
Oh, okay.
Now, like I said, probably about 90% of it, there's a few situations where it won't cover it. And then
An
obviously,
example would be what?
I
I know. I mean, because
now if somebody were to commit suicide, and they committed suicide and say they cut themselves, the insurance wouldn't cover that. Now they would cover it if they used a gun. So it's with a gunshot. So
what would be the difference?
Yeah.
I guess
Gunshot
insurance-wise.
would be considered an explosion. Gun goes off, it's considered an explosion.
Oh, wow.
The insurance company would cover that. Now, and I'm not sure if you guys know anything about insurance, and believe me, I've been learning on the fly, but every insurance company is different.
Right.
Every policy is different. There's always something here, something there. It's always something different. So the majority of the time, we can get it covered. The insurance company, what they do is they set rates for our services. These are the rates that we're going to pay, so these are the rates we're going to charge. Now, if a company comes back and says, hey, or if an insurance company comes back and says, we're not covering it, we go to the homeowner, family, whatever, and say, you know what, they're not going to cover it, but I'm going to work with you. I will never charge the individual what I would charge the insurance, because these jobs can get
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
That's really cool of you.
these jobs can get anywhere from a couple $1,000s to hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, I've never personally done a job over 100. I've known some jobs over $100,000, and I would never expect.
That's intense.
Yeah.
I can't believe, I'm trying to put myself in the family's shoes, going through the loss already.
Yeah.
Or the traumatizing scene, and then having to cover a cost.
Yeah. So get this.
Not only funeral, not only everything within that. I never.
So our family,
Okay.
right? Reach out to this first company, comes back. Insurance company's kind of fighting it, this and that. So the company tells my family it's going to cost you $8,500.
Wow. It's like,
$8,500, and you're thinking, $8,500? Like, no, just hey, it's $8,500. Like, I don't know about you guys. I don't have $8,500 lying around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are situations. Right? Yeah. Follow YouTube. Subscribe. Right?
Yeah, right. I'm trying.
Yeah. These are situations that you don't plan for.
right.
I mean, you don't. It's not like you're putting money away every month for in case somebody
Right.
passes away. You don't
Right.
plan for stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would never do that. I would never do that to someone. I wouldn't do it. I just can't. I think maybe I've turned away one person because it was like I was going to charge them $200 for a situation that probably, if we would have went through the insurance, it probably would have been somewhere between $6,000-7,000.
Dang.
Yeah, and I was going to charge them $200.
Why'd you turn them down after all?
They literally, and it would have actually cost.
Ungratefulness?
It would have not even that.
Oh.
It would have cost me more money to actually do it. And I said, you know what? Still $200. And they still no. I can find somebody this. Okay.
Okay.
It is what it is. I'm here to help.
Right.
If you change your mind, here's my number. It is
Regular
what it
rate.
is. Yeah. Yeah. And I can't fathom or even think about turning someone down when they're like, what are they gonna do?
Right.
They're gonna end up cleaning themselves.
It's
what they're gonna
very
do.
similar. The closest thing that I can see to a situation like what you guys are doing is like when all of a sudden there's a death and they have to approach the funeral home and organize all that stuff.
And the funerals are not cheap.
Right.
Right.
And I'm sure that's an experience on its own.
Yeah.
Just having to go through
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And then of course the aftermath of
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So with our services, I like to think of ours as like the first little hurdle that we can help them get over.
Right.
As long as they can get back into the house, and
Those
because a lot of times
things.
people still live there.
Yeah.
Like where are they supposed to go? They don't want to sleep there at night.
Right.
So we like to get that out of the way. That way they can either get in the room, get back in the house, find whatever they need to find, and then they can start moving forward.
Other than residential areas or apartments, what's the weirdest location y'all done?
We've done a couple industrial accidents,
Okay.
some plants. I think
We have to define it weird too. 'Cause
Well, it's depending on the
Believe me,
industry,
yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
we were out in Baytown one time. A guy got his hand stuck in a machine, literally just crushed his whole hand. I think he lost a leg, maybe a foot or something like that as well.
That's so
We show up and his boots are still there, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, I think his couple toes." I'm like, you know,
sorry.
yeah, and it's just sitting there out in the sun, like just like no big
The
deal.
guy was already gone?
Yeah, this had happened. This had happened on a Friday, and apparently they didn't work on the weekends, so we didn't go out till Monday.
Oh,
So
wow.
we
They
just
shut down sites whenever
Yeah.
something happens. I worked
Yeah.
as a pipe fitter helper out in Louisiana, and there was a guy who got his arm pretty much cut off.
Yeah.
They were flying pipe and they got stuck, and then like dude ended up cutting off his arm, and they gave us the weekend.
Yeah.
They gave it to revalue your life.
Yeah,
value
exactly.
Those
machines don't give at all.
Man,
So yeah, I mean, it was I don't even know what it did, but it was a huge machine, and literally we just had to basically decontaminate,
Okay.
the whole entire area.
Is it, for something like that, I'm guessing, is y'all's insurance more considering that y'all have to clean up
As
their
far as
equipment?
our company insurance, or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Because
ours,
you're cleaning
yeah.
their equipment, you're in their,
Yeah, so we
environment.
definitely have a specific type
okay. of
of insurance. We were fortunate. Obviously, we bought into a franchise. We used the same insurance that the other franchise uses. I couldn't even tell you if I had to literally go out and try to find this type of insurance. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Right.
We're fully bonded. We have to be fully bonded. We have
I think
to have
we've got
insurance.
like $1 million
Yeah.
covered.
Just in case the house were to
Yeah.
burn down, or
Right.
something, we have to be insured for all of that. We are also insured if, God forbid, we hire first responders, so we trust them. But when you're out there, if they were to take something and somebody were to say we're insured for that as well.
Oh, really? Like theft or loss?
Yeah,
Oh,
stuff
stuff
like that. Yeah, we have
That's
to be.
stuff that you don't even think about.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, it takes a certain type of
take you-
individual for
it would
someone to
take
steal
you
something
learning.
from.
At that point, if
Yeah.
something were to happen, be like, oh, well, we don't have this insurance.
Right. Learning experience. You take some mistakes, you learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? What's has been a biggest hurdle or a hurdle that y'all have come across that y'all have learned from?
I think the biggest hurdle in our business is just making people aware of our business.
Oh,
Mhm.
marketing.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's making people aware of that there are companies out there. There's too many times I run across police officers, I run across firefighters that, oh, I didn't even know you
Right. Well, I
a
mean,
company like this existed.
Yeah.
And you know how many times that something happens and the family will ask, what do I do? And I don't know. I mean, just a couple of days ago, we met a lady that works in the ME's office for Harris County.
Mhm.
I'm sitting there talking to her, and she says, "Oh yeah, I go out. I'm an investigator. I go out to all the scenes, and people
Emmy's
ask,
office?
yeah, the medical examiner.
Oh,
ME
right.
office.
Okay.
People ask me all the time, and I didn't even know. Like I'm thinking, man, this is literally the person on site, handling the body.
You would have thought that
Like-
somebody, hey, here's my card.
Yeah, so we talked for a little bit, and nice lady, we talked for a little bit, and
Well, because
she
she's
goes,
not involved with that. She's
Yeah.
just there thinking of
but
how to solve it.
but to have her say, man, people ask me all the time.
Oh.
I'm thinking, throw a name out there. If you don't pick our company, throw a name out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just don't let people clean it themselves. That is the biggest thing.
How do people find you? Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook,
Twitter?
Instagram, Google Ads is our biggest friend.
Google Ads.
We have a marketing company that handles all of our Google marketing and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Now you sparked me there. Like, what can you possibly post on Instagram? Like,
So your guy, your California guy, is his name Neil? I forgot his name. Your California guy, he'll literally post pictures.
He looks like a Neo,
If-
right?
yeah.
His
his
personality is like a
I
Neo.
think his name's Neil.
Very Neo.
If you look him up on his Instagram page, literally he'll post pictures of the scenes, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what are you
It's just
doing?
very. I think the word is crass about the people or the victims or the
He just-
families.
I've seen what I've seen
Okay.
that. It was like
It was a documentary.
I've seen it on
so-
YouTube. And he just has no sort of compassion. He
Yeah.
could care less about what's going on.
Well, I guess
there's
because
just
he.
people like that though.
Well, he took care of mostly suicides,
Yeah.
and so he's like, these jerks don't even care about what they leave behind.
He always blames the person who
Yes,
killed himself.
yes.
It's like-
He was negative about the victim.
Wow.
yeah, always.
And so
100%.
you have to, I guess, and I don't know if I was gonna ask, do y'all go through personal stuff? Because he was.
There's been
we have to just, if we're throwing it away, we do.
Right, because I think that was part of
we have
his.
to document it to make sure that if they say, hey, this was here,
Yeah.
no, this is what we do.
Yeah, everything we dispose of.
Everything we dispose of, we document because of the fact that, people can say, oh, there was $1,000 in that gym bag.
That did
Or
happen.
that happened to us, and we're like, no, we went through the gym bag, even though it was covered in, blood, we just make sure that it's not just a bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw an idea out there, and I don't know, maybe you guys have come across it, but just what comes to mind as like self-preservation is like body cams. Like you guys to wear body cams.
We've talked about it.
It's hot.
We,
I didn't stop drinking. I didn't
You have to excuse my co-host. We warned y'all, do not let her drink.
Bob doesn't have nobody. Bob, come on, Steven.
Bob's gonna get you, girl.
no, we have.
Okay.
We've talked about it. But I think there are legality issues that you would have to kind of.
We would have to go into like lawyers,
privacy,
to make sure
And
that,
because a lot of times, the family will still be there. They'll be in the
What's the
room or
difference?
whatever.
And I guess we're getting into it. What's the difference between a body cam and like taking a picture before you start?
We do. We take pictures. Now, the only difference is, say, I won't. When I take pictures, it's literally of the scene. Bam, 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 right?
Right.
When I get into it, I'm removing stuff. I'm taking stuff out of a bag. I'm moving stuff here, moving stuff there. So you might come across things that you wouldn't originally see in the pictures.
And the pictures are only for insurance purposes.
Yes.
Well, and I was saying it because of like the liability that you guys are saying, like somebody accusing that you took something.
Yeah, I mean that.
And to be honest, it's only happened one time, right?
It has, but
One time. She
we
did.
have years to go, and it could come across
Right.
again. And
Right.
You never know. And we hold our boxes, our biohazard boxes that we dispose of, at least for a quarter, like depending on how many we have, maybe a month to 2 months.
Yeah.
And if they come back at us and say, well, we'll have to go through it, and we mark our boxes and make sure like this is the person, like the address.
You say your boxing.
Our biohazard boxes.
But what are you putting in?
Biohazard.
the
So
stuff that
everything
was-
we dispose of. So
Okay.
say
That's
something
biohazardous.
happened on a bed, right? And there.
We can't just put it in the garbage. We
Right.
have to get
So-
it incinerated and.
And so you guys
There's a
hold on
process
to it
for
for
it.
those 2 months.
we have
a month,
we have a company.
and then incinerate.
Yeah, we
The
have a
company
that
comes and
comes
picks it up
picks
and then
up.
they
And
incinerate
it's
it.
Per OSHA guidelines, you have to follow OSHA guidelines.
Yeah.
So you can't just take bloody clothes and throw them in the landfill.
Right.
You have to have it incinerated.
Okay.
So
the John speed dial.
yeah, yeah. So you have to have it incinerated. Per law. So that's what we've never had to go through stuff. But if that were the case, the biggest thing is just building a relationship with whoever you're dealing with.
Right.
They just lost a mother, father, brother, sister, whatever. But literally walking them through our entire process, leaving no question.
It helps make them comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
Now, this particular
situation.
situation she's talking about, there was a gentleman who was arguing with the wife, the lady who I was speaking with. She was arguing with the wife. They got into some sort of altercation. She walked out. He called her back in, and when he called her back in, he had a shotgun. He had killed himself with a shotgun.
Good Lord.
So she literally stood there and watched him, shoot himself.
Right.
And at that point, her daughter came, and her daughter was the one I was dealing with. I never saw them. When I get to the house, the mom obviously is gone. She wants no part of it. She's dealing with her own thing going on. So it wasn't until a couple weeks after that she called and says, "Hey, what about this gym bag?" But all that stuff is submitted to the insurance company. We keep everything on file because if something like this were to happen,
Right.
we can come back and say, no. We keep a list of what happened. I mean, obviously not getting upset, but we keep a list of everything that we dispose of. And that way we can cover. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. One question that I did have come up in my head whenever she told me that we were interviewing you guys was, what makes y'all sick? Like, what makes y'all gay? Like, obviously anybody else would be like, oh my god.
Too sick.
But
Yeah, I said toes, and I'm like,
So So for me,
What makes you queasy?
for me, I still remember the first we went through training in San Antonio.
Not necessarily in your industry, I'm
Yeah.
just in general. Like, what makes you queasy?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
With me, and it's feces. Anytime I come across,
But that's natural, right? Well, after that.
I mean, I would think normal people get kind of grossed out by,
me.
Oh, that, no,
after
it is.
we.
It is, but we do a lot of jobs sometimes where people are either older people or something, they either can't control themselves or
Right.
they literally just, decided, hey, I'm going to use the bathroom here or whatever the case may be. That's the one thing that I'll tell, her.
That's
Not doing it.
That,
This gives me the shitty end of the
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that you can handle that. So what makes you queasy?
We did a job, and it's probably the worst. I can handle the smell of decomposing bodies. I can handle.
I hear that's the worst.
Yeah, I can handle a lot.
Yeah.
And I worked in a microbiology lab for 12 years, so I can, all the smells I know. We did a job. This man was hoarding urine.
How? In jars?
Milk jugs and tie,
His?
whatever plastic.
Yeah, there it is.
And he would time it. He would date it. Like, okay, today's whatever.
So it was like his pee journal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just realized the face that I was making, and I'm going to
It was on an index card. And he would date it, time it, how long it took
How long
him,
it took
15
him
seconds,
to pee, yeah.
and keep on going until he filled up that jar. And then
Talking
he would go to
about
the
gallon milk jugs, half-gallon milk jugs, laundry detergent, yeah.
Wait a minute, so what? Okay, sorry.
whatever, and I just couldn't. Like, we went there, and it was Houston hot, it was on a summer day. It was an old house.
No AC.
What can you compare it to?
I'm thinking urinal and just like.
I couldn't, like,
No, but think about, so yes, she's right, but think about urinal, but like 5-year-old urinal.
No, it was, I found something from 2012. We're 2008, well, we did it last year, 2018, so.
6-year-old
6-year
urine.
urine.
I can
So-
imagine.
He had over 70 jugs, over 70 jugs.
No, 70 plus.
Yeah.
So what happened? Like, why were you there?
Oh, he ended up passing away on his
His chair,
recliner,
yeah,
so
he
it was
passed
a
away.
decomp. So that's what we were going there for. It was the decomp, and his brother, an older gentleman. They were in 80s, 90s. They were older, and he wanted to. We removed what we had to, and he was like, "Can you remove the urine?"
His brother did lie though. His brother says, "Oh, there's a little bit of urine, a little bit."
Yeah.
The whole house was full of
Yeah,
it.
so I'm like, okay, cool.
It's no running water.
Was that the $180,000 job?
No.
No, we don't have those jobs. But it just, so we're like, what do we do? Like, how do we dispose of this here? He had like this huge lab in the. So anyways, I left there smelling like a bum. Like during halfway through, I was in that suit. Mind you, we're in Houston.
Right.
We're in those suits, and those suits are sauna suits. I was like taking it off. I'm like, I started like. I had a panic attack.
You laugh, you're horrible.
I was like, I even threw up. I was like, I just can't. And he's like, just push it through. It was me, him, another one of our workers. And I was just like, okay.
I was a little more aggressive than saying just push through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was sitting there like
get your.
Quit being a punk.
yeah.
He's so pissy.
Yeah.
I'm a girl.
I know.
So he's like, get it together, and I'm like, okay.
You're a trooper, mom.
Yeah.
Good job.
So she literally rode home
I
in
did
the
it.
van with her
but
head out the
even-
door,
even-
head out the window.
It still smells.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's-
And you
stays on
probably wish that the suits were a little thicker. So
Yeah, like it was like Rona. He's like, "Do you want to go?" No, I do not want to go eat. I want to go home. Do not,
Shower.
because we go out to eat afterwards sometimes because we're not. Unless we smell, we
It just
don't.
depends.
Yeah, it just depends. But I was like, no, we're going home.
Yeah.
It was disgusting, and
I've never heard it. You know, out of all the things you watch, especially nowadays, because crime movies and shows, it's a thing. you hear that body decomposition is the
Oh,
worst.
it is bad.
But for you to say that, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine
No.
6-year-old tea or.
It was like chunky. Oh, it
Yeah.
was disgusting.
But like you would never think somebody would do that. It literally had index cards attached to every.
And I said,
Yeah.
and I
It
go,
looked like old milk,
And
like
I
yellow.
and I even
Yeah.
told
It
him,
was
I
bad.
go,
I never
Oh.
would have thought the word chunky.
it
It's
was
the same.
chunky. And I asked him before we left, I said,
Y'all have bar bags?
I said, where do you think he went to the
Number two,
And he goes, I don't want to know, let's go.
no running water in the house.
There was no running water. He
Yeah.
probably had a colostomy bag. He had to have. Because there was no sign.
This poor guy died in his recliner, right? And that was the easiest part of that job, was cleaning up that.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd been there for like a week too. That was the
I was
easiest
gonna
part.
ask, but I didn't want to ask. But I was gonna say, how long was he there?
Yeah, he'd been there for like a week, and that was nothing compared to.
That's
You're
crazy.
right.
Y'all are brave. 'Cause
Oh, you're
I
right.
do hear from even, you know how they say, veteran detectives, that's one thing they can't
Yeah.
get rid of, the death, the smell of death.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I gotta
No,
say,
Yeah, but
I
that's
mean,
like
it's bad.
third to y'all.
first job I
Yeah.
ever went to, literally, it was a kind of a rundown apartment. A guy, I think it was 2 weeks maybe. They found him, and upstairs apartment. And I took one step to go upstairs, and I could already smell it. I was like, "What am I getting myself into?" I literally had to.
I was literally about to ask that
Yeah.
question too. Like, how was y'all's first job?
Yeah.
Like,
So
Well, our first
it was the
job.
worst thing you could ever think of. Oh my gosh, the hoarding thing.
Really?
No, it was.
a hoarder?
So this guy,
So we do
poor guy,
hoarding.
right?
We do
We do
hoarding.
yeah.
We do rat feces. We do.
What do you mean you do hoarding? Like, so you have clean up hoarding?
We'll clean up
or
hoarding,
hoarding.
yeah.
Oh,
Hoarding
okay.
houses. Like you
Okay,
see
so
the
it's
TV
not
show, like
necessarily
hoarding.
death scenes.
No.
No,
We do
yeah,
everything.
we-
Everything by
it's
hazard.
hazard, yeah.
Oh.
We get a call. This guy, hey, you know what?
Take it over to my mom. Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. Joke. It's
So
okay.
this guy,
Senora, if you like,
yeah.
yeah.
So this guy calls and says, hey, I need someone to come clean up my apartment. I've got a little bit of food here and there. I'm like,
I love how everybody says a little bit.
well, I mean, yeah. Nobody wants to say, hey, I've got
A little
tons
here.
of stuff everywhere.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, like,
He won't
first
go
job.
there.
first job, right? So we're all fired up. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go to work. Yeah, awesome.
We're in business, baby. Yeah.
So then he's like, hey, I'm not gonna be there though. The door's open. You just come in. I'm thinking, what the? Like, okay, right. So we get there.
No, it wasn't open. I had to
No.
crawl through the window.
We couldn't even push the door open.
Oh, wow.
We couldn't even push the door open, right? So then she has to crawl through
So,
the window. Through the
first
So
window.
you probably didn't even fit in that house.
First job, he tells me, go through the window. Like, we're gonna have to go through the window because the police had done
Welfare check.
a welfare check because it smelled that bad.
Oh,
They thought he was dead.
okay. But yeah, we're talking to him.
Yeah, he called me. I talked to
No,
him
but
before.
this was before.
I even
okay.
got another ending to the story.
Yeah.
So she crawls through the window, right? Opens the door, and she opens the door with the look like deer in the headlights.
Did you get a raise after that one?
Right.
I would have asked for a raise.
Yeah.
Trying through
So
the window.
this guy, and he's obviously sick, and he's an older guy, and he's hard for him to get around, and I think he had diabetes and stuff like that. Would literally just eat food and just throw it. Eat, throw it, food. I mean, there was food, crab legs. I mean, there was like macaroni, like Velveeta macaroni, like in the pot. Literally just dumped it over. It was just crusted to it. I mean, it was so bad. I mean, there were, and luckily we didn't see any rodents, but I mean, there
I'm
were.
surprised. Yeah.
How would you not
So there were.
Well, they're
What he
smart
would
'cause
do.
they don't come
What
out
he would
with
do
it.
was have those little fly sticky strips, or whatever. There was hanging everywhere, just like there was no place for a fly to land anymore. They were, it was so bad, right? So bad. So he literally was like, just clean it. So I'm like, God damn it. So we go through the whole place, the whole apartment.
How do you go through something like that? What's the system for? 'Cause I've seen
when it
the
comes
show too.
When it comes to hoarding, I mean, a situation like that is actually better for us
Is it?
because there's no, hey, keep this, don't throw that, keep this. I mean, it's quicker for us just to go through everything and just get rid of it. we've been in situations where people are like, no, I want to keep this, I want to keep that, and it kind of drags on.
Right.
You know, they put that hoarding show on in an hour. I guarantee you it was a 2-week process.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
And they even like they get pushed.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we've done a couple.
We've never done a hoarding where the person is living.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes a
The
big
person's
difference.
always been deceased.
So
It's just clearing it out.
Well, and some of them though, some of them they come in and they say, you know what, I need to find these papers. We're gonna.
So we're always looking for stuff.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna look through this room
when
first.
we
that
do
room
our
first.
stuff, we always look for insurance papers, anything that bills, bank
Yeah.
statements, anything for the family that we think that's gonna be of use. Yes, other than that.
Is that a lot of pressure for you guys? I mean, between all that mess, you have to look for these certain papers.
I would think not, right?
No.
Because if you don't find it, then
No.
Yeah,
it's
because at the end of the day, I mean, we're there to do a job. I mean, you know,
Is it?
But me
it?
as a person, I do.
this one.
Because I feel like.
Yeah, we designate Roxanne to be the one to look through all the papers. The guys,
I'm
let's
just like,
go.
well, they would want to know if this is a bank statement.
Yeah.
They would need to know, because if not, that money's just gonna sit there and nobody
Right.
knows about it. So for me, I'm like, well, I would want the family to at least,
Okay.
you know,
So-
like.
and
So
kinda-
wait, so getting back to this gentleman, right? So we go through his little office space, his living room, his kitchen, his bedroom. Take care of it, right? So we're in there. It's just us at this point, right? It's just me and her.
No, we don't have no workers.
It's
Day
just
one,
us.
day one.
I mean, this is literally first job, just us. So we got full mask. I mean, we're trying to communicate.
We're
with
yelling at
and-
each other because we can't hear
Because
each
yeah,
other.
it's hard to talk about
Yeah.
it, right? So we're yelling and we're
Yeah,
talking
well-
and we're cleaning, and then like we turn around and he's right there.
In
He
his
came in.
room.
There was 2 entrances into the apartment. There
No,
like
he was
one-
laying it down. He was asleep.
I thought he came up the other side. So
Yeah.
he's there. And he's walking around just in his normal clothes and, oh, hey, yeah, get rid of that, get rid of this. I'm thinking, holy crap. Like, how long was he there, first off? And second off, like, it's so unsafe for him to just live in this environment.
Right.
So we must have thrown, I don't know, 20, 30 bags of just like trash to get rid of, you know?
And an apartment too. It's
Yeah,
not
an
a home.
apartment.
It's
I mean,
no,
it was
like,
about-
One bedroom.
It was probably 700 square feet, maybe. Get rid of all
So
that
before
stuff.
you guys even started, you guys had obviously agreed on a price with him.
You know, we did.
Yeah.
We did. And then about 45 minutes into it,
yeah,
We all
yeah.
should have charged it a lot
okay,
more.
this is learning curve number 1.
Because you said little food. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I would have
Yeah.
said little food too for a small quote.
Yeah, so, yeah, about 45 minutes in, we,
But we always go to the job before we give a price.
Is
Yeah.
it because of that experience?
yeah, so
Well,
we're-
just in general.
Sure, no, just in general.
San
because-
Antonio, our
sometimes we-
office is the San Antonio, the main office, always told us you always have to go in
Yeah.
and do an estimate.
Okay.
I mean, but think about it too. Like if someone calls and says, hey, you know what,
We have different
Hoarding-
perceptions of
hoarding
everything.
or
Right?
something,
It's
or
little, it's big.
Right.
Right,
yeah, I mean,
right.
you know, they found somebody deceased or somebody committed suicide. I mean, before people, and I know companies that are literally, oh, it's, you know, X amount of dollars. You never even seen it. You don't even know what it's going to entail.
Right.
Like, how do you give someone an honest quote when you don't even know what it looks like?
Right.
So I'll always go and I make every job and I'll go see it and I'll talk to the person and let me see it first before I give you an estimate. Only because, hey, I'm trying to, you know, give you the best price, but also I'm not going to just tell you a price and then walk into something that a little bit of food
Right.
or
right.
a little bit of
Right.
urine. Yeah, exactly.
Is it a quick thing? Like they call you and you know you go right away?
Yeah, so typically, you know, our response time is really good.
Okay.
You know, Houston obviously is a little bit different, but we usually can get there within, you know, an hour, hour and a half, depending on where it is, what time of day it is, stuff like that. But that's all things that you can just communicate with.
What's the furthest I've gone?
You know, I was down in Edna a while back, which is headed like towards the coast a little bit. That's about an hour and a half. We've gone to College Station a couple times.
Okay.
To me, Humble is far, so we've gone up there a couple times. You know, I'll go anywhere as long as you can understand where I'm coming from
Right.
and to get, you know, the expectation.
Vacation,
Yeah, exactly. I'll go wherever. It doesn't matter.
I'm sure that there are some people watching that would be curious. So what were your Facebooks and everything again? Like how can people find you on social media?
So at BioTechs South Houston, that is our Facebook page. That is also our Instagram page. We probably need to do a better job of keeping up to date with social media. I am not the social media person. Roxanne does a good job. We need to get better at it.
Okay.
But yeah, at BioTechs South Houston, that's where you can find us. We'll post, things we're doing within the community. We'll post. I know it's I think it's National Mental Awareness Month. Mental health awareness. Yeah, we'll post stuff like that. Any events we're at, we'll post. So that way you can kind of just see. We'll never post anything personal. Okay. We'll never put anything, like I said, scenes, anything like that. We'll never do anything like that. It's just kind of who we are, bring awareness.
So again, guys, it's not just for crime and trauma cleaning, but there's hoarding and there's
hoarding, needle pickup. We've been to places where a business says, hey, you know what? In our alley behind our business, there's a lot of people. They've been doing drugs, this and that. We'll go pick up needles for them, stuff like that. I mean, feces, urine, pet. I know Roxanne mentioned it. Rodent droppings, stuff like that.
When she's mad at you, does she send you to those jobs?
Yeah, right. I thought when we talked about it, I thought she was going to say roaches. This one is so scared of roaches. We've done so many jobs where, literally, hoarding jobs. You'll roll up some carpet, pick it up, and a mouse or something will jump out.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. She's good. And a roach, little roach. Oh my gosh, the world is going to end. The world will end.
Her ears are burning.
Yeah, exactly.
What did he say?
I was like, oh my god.
The last time she was like, it was flying. Like, yeah, they make those. Oh, this is Maverick.
Hey, Maverick. Sorry.
Oh
It's
my
Maddie.
God.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Your bed over here.
Hi.
He's crazy.
Glad, huh?
Yeah. He's excited.
How old is he?
He's 7. Yes.
Big boy.
He's 7. Yeah, he's actually on a diet. He lost a little bit of weight.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that chunky pee. I'm still getting over that. That's just insane.
Hey, we're talking about the first one.
Yeah. So first job, right? We get that squared away. We get that taken care of, and
because I was a hoarder, right?
yeah,
the hoarding.
hoarder, right? So we finish it, and we're all like on a high, right? Like, man, awesome. Like,
Yeah, we're excited after getting it done.
First job,
Yeah, okay.
like, we got under our belts. All right, if we can do this, we can
Check
do anything.
cleared, we're good.
Right, exactly right. We can do this, we can do anything.
Okay.
Right. So then, 6 months later,
Or so they thought. Right?
the same guy calls me.
Oh.
What?
Calls me back to the same apartment. Calls me and I'm talking to him. I'm like, man, I remember that name. Gives me the address and I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in the morning. Like, we'll talk with her. I show up.
Same thing.
Not as bad, but still bad.
I didn't go to that one.
Yes, still bad, right?
Why didn't you go to that one?
Well, at this time, I took one of the guys that works for us, right?
Yeah.
And I told him,
Smart.
I gave him the whole situation. I said,
I work in the office.
Yeah. I was here 6 months ago.
I'm the clerk.
This is what I dealt with. I said, just be prepared. Yeah, okay, I'm good. So we get there. This poor guy is in worse condition.
Health-wise.
Health-wise,
Okay.
he's in worse condition. He has this big giant recliner, right? So he literally is like laying there, doesn't move, and reaches over, talks. We work the whole time with him in and out of sleep. Like he's got a big
Respirator thing.
no, but with sleep apnea
Sleep
type
apnea
mask,
okay.
and he's worked, and he's just laying. And
Is
I'm
he
thinking-
older? You said he was
Yeah,
older.
he's an older guy.
I mean, you're not saying names or anything, and I can't. How does somebody pay for that?
So I'm gonna get to that. So then, yeah,
That's better.
I'm gonna get to that. So then, we agree to a price, and then we start working. And we're literally just kind of working around him. He's in the living room, and he's just there. And the guy that works for me is just like,
Are you quiet the whole time?
oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's
I mean,
uncomfortable. I know
yeah,
play
we're
some
just
music or
kind of
something.
working, just kind of doing our thing, whatever. So we finished, right? Haul stuff out, and the situation wasn't as bad as the first time,
Right.
but
And
it's
we're
still
able to open the door.
yeah,
right?
but it's still bad, right? It's
Right.
still bad. So we finished or whatever, and haul everything out. And the guy that's there, I said, yeah, I'm just gonna collect the payment. I said, you can go, no worries. All right, cool. So he leaves, right? So I come to the guy. He so and so, and he kind of gets up and, okay, we're done. I just need to collect payment. Well, my wallet's over there. So I look, and I'm like, it's not there. So
No.
can't find his wallet, right? Can't find his wallet. Doesn't know where it is. And then by this time you're talking to him, and he'll respond. But then you'll talk to him again, and he'll just kind of look at you like with this.
Oh man,
like
glazed
crazy
look.
Dementia.
So I'm
or
like,
something?
I don't know. So I'm sitting there going, oh my God, do not tell me, this guy doesn't have his wallet or something I'll pay. So he's in this poor guy, right? Poor guy. He's in this chair and he's like, oh, it's over here. So he kind of turns and I'm trying to help him. He's like, no, I got it. Don't help me. So he kind of turns and he falls over. Poor guy falls out of his chair and he's pushing at least 400 pounds. Like he's a big guy, right? So then I'm trying to get him up and I'm trying to help and he like nothing, right? He can't move, this and that. So I'm sitting there going, what am I supposed to do? Like I can't just leave this guy here and he owes me some money. Like I can't just leave him here. You know what I mean? Like and even at that though, like, I don't want to just leave him here. Like he can't get up. This poor guy's gonna die here.
Right.
So I ended up having to call the fire department.
In my head, I'm like, job security.
Yeah, so mind you, the guys that work for me all work for HFD, right? So he leaves, he's gone. I end up having to call the fire department, right? So he's like, oh, I called him later. Oh, yeah, those are my buddies. The fire department has to come. And the fire department shows up, the EMS, everything. And they're thinking, like, as soon as they show up, they say, oh, this apartment right here? Like, they already knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been here a couple times already. We already know what goes on. So they actually it takes 4 firefighters to get him up, put him back on the chair, and they're talking to him about his wallet. He can't find his wallet, this and that. And they're like, hey, man, I'm sorry. Like, we put him back on the chair. Sorry. So they leave.
Well.
So they leave. So I'm still there. So we keep talking or whatever. And he's like, well, check my pants. And we look in his pants. And we end up finding his information. And we end up getting paid. But, I mean, this poor guy. And I after that, even after the first time I went and talked to the people in the front, and they said, no, he's fine. He walks around all the time. He's always drinking. And I believe that because we probably threw away maybe 10, 12 cases of wine that first time.
Wow.
I'm talking just empty, like 12 pack of wine, all empty bottles. We literally threw probably 12 cases away.
Wow.
So the second time I went and told the lady, what was going on, I said, he's going to die in the apartment. Like he's going to pass away. The property manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said, he's gonna die in there, and then, you guys are gonna kind of be left. I said, either call, somebody. She goes, we tried to get him into a home and he won't go. Poor guy had diabetes and it was a bad situation.
And alone.
Yeah, and he was alone. Exactly. He was alone.
I think that's the hurt.
Yeah,
part, right?
exactly. But
sucks.
that's I couldn't believe it when he called me back 6 months later.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like it's so crazy.
It happens so often though.
It does.
It
happens a lot, and so many people. And I don't even think it's a pride or an ego thing. It's just so many people they don't want to kind of bring awareness to it. It's like, oh, I'm good, I'm fine.
Well, they feel like a burden.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
did a lot of community service in San Antonio with the elderly and elderly and kids, but my thing was with the elderly, and they have family, but many times they don't even want to feel like a burden to their family.
And if that, they've already cut their family off a long time ago.
Yes, and I thought that was weird.
Yeah, a long time ago. So the family, believe me, the family was probably there and tried to help.
Yeah.
But you came in way after that part. Yeah, 100%.
Wow. So that's I guess that's the weirdest one that you have, or
I mean, we're talking about there was an incident on the fence. I get a call one time.
I know her and I right now are like on our edge because we're like trying to fence. What could be the weird part?
So it was it's the fence job, right? So we get a call one time from this company that I guess they were a marketing company, and they had people walking around neighborhoods passing out flyers or putting flyers on, whether it's for, I think it was for cell phones, putting flyers on people's doors or whatever.
Okay.
The company calls and says, hey, there was they put a flyer on a house and the house was for sale. There's nobody in the house, but they caught him on camera. This guy put the flyer, literally walked around the side of the house on the side, and he decided he was going to go number 2 on the fence. So this is broad daylight.
What do you mean on the fence?
Literally, just pulled his pants down and put his butt up against the fence and decided to do his business on the fence. So I'm thinking, wait, what?
I know.
What? So they caught him on camera actually too. Poor idiot, right? They caught him on camera. So then I'm thinking, I'm on the phone and I'm
Is it the texture of the wood?
right.
I'm trying to think why would anybody like I would have done it against the house maybe because they're like even if there's camera they wouldn't I don't know.
So then I'm like
I
I'm talking to her and at first I was like wait what like I didn't get it right so I was okay just where's the house at I'll be right there so I go and literally sure enough I walk around the side and kind of like in some little corner thought he was hiding and there's literally just like
Whoa!
crap like
on the fence.
down the fence and my first
diarrhea.
and my first thing was like well how did he wipe like what did he do?
That's what I'm saying. Like you got splinters on your butt now.
Yeah,
dude. Like,
so there was just crap literally all down the fence. I mean, it was easy. It wasn't anything like crazy, but to think that somebody, while he was working,
I guess
he just had to go.
thing.
It was, but it was outside. It was outside, so it was able to circulate.
Yeah.
So the smell's what gets you.
The smell when it comes to feces, I can't do. I just can't. I can do.
So with baby diapers and all that you
I mean, I did them.
them.
I did them, but I mean.
Mom, did he do it?
Baby
I
diapers.
did go there.
No, she's talking about baby diapers.
Diapers.
Oh, he did.
Okay.
It's just when it comes to
Yeah. There you go,
comes to
girl.
Did he have Bob mask on?
He still does it too because she's not a really good wiper.
Okay.
So,
Good for
he
you,
still
Dad.
does
when
it.
it comes to grown people,
Yeah.
it just, I don't know what it is. I just can't do it. I can do anything. And I never thought I'd be that guy to like, well, when we first started this business, she was the one who was going to go to the jobs. I was going to handle all the business side of it.
Yeah, right.
And now, yeah, believe me, the tables have turned 1,000%. Okay.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
I
You go, girl.
Tables have turned.
So okay, so you guys moved from San Antonio to Houston because of the market and everything. You guys obviously have a beautiful home. This is the office, but one of the questions that I actually asked her was like, I wonder what the neighbors thought when they see the logo. What is that like?
You know, we've had these conversations. The guy next to us, actually 2 houses down.
Because you attract people. They come on their own.
You've seen the truck?
Yeah.
2 houses down was actually a
We're
police
loud and
officer.
proud.
Yeah.
2 houses down was
That's
actually.
how we can advertise.
I'm sure people drive and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, the other day I stopped. I went to go pick up my daughter, and I stopped real quick at Dollar General, and I get out, and some old lady goes, "How do you do that?" I'm like, you know what? It is what it is.
I'll take a picture before we get
Yeah.
so we can.
Yeah, I said it is what it is, but we get the stares and the looks and whatever. But 2 houses down, it used to be a police officer. He moved. He rents that house now, but he was obviously hey, this is what you guys do, whatever. The guy next door, I think, is retired PD as well, and super nice. I mean, this neighborhood it's obviously an older neighborhood. We've had a couple people in the neighborhood kind of reach out and say, hey, how do I take care of this, or how do I take care of that? Different situations. Just kind of curious. I'm still the everyday neighbor. I drive down, see people, we wave, everything's fine. So they don't look at me too weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're not a Neo.
I'm not.
But
I'm definitely not a
It
Neo.
is an older neighborhood.
Yeah.
So everybody knows when you fart around here.
Right.
So, like, which is good because all our neighbors know and anything that goes on. But yeah, it's good. They see us. We've actually had a lady that called us like 2 streets over.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'm hoarding and I'm this. And we went and she wasn't hoarding. She just needed
like a maid service.
And you know what? If we were
Y'all
the
were
wrong
like, oh,
type,
that's cute.
Yeah.
if we were the wrong type of people,
Right.
You take advantage. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could have taken advantage of this sweet lady. And we told her, we're like, we sat, I think we talked to her for like 45 minutes because she just wanted company.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we just sat and we talked with her and we're like, we're more of a buy. We're going to be more expensive for you. I think you just need to call a maid
We've
service.
done a lot of things like that.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
and we
Y'all
tell
are
people
awesome.
that all the time. Like Dave
because it'd be
is
a
the
lot
one
cheaper.
that he answers the phones all the time, and they'll be like, "Hey, this," and he's like, "You know what? If it's not something that we think is super biohazardous, he's like, hey, just have somebody. It'll be cheaper for you to have a moving company to come or a maid service to come." because we don't want to take advantage of these people
Right.
at all.
Good for
and
you.
that's just not who we are as people. Even when these situations come up, like
And in y'all's own way, those people that y'all are referring to some other business, they're gonna refer y'all. You know,
well, we
I
don't
mean,
necessarily have a business that we refer them, but we just say
But I mean, in another industry that's not you,
exactly,
you know.
exactly. Because
And I think it speaks
I
volumes
think
for you
it pays
guys.
back.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Like it pays back to
Mhm.
us because we're not going to take advantage of somebody that needs something small and then
Right.
we're charging them this great amount
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
versus somebody that
because all of our prices are, everything is considered.
it
off
fluctuates. It's never
They do
a
fluctuate,
separate-
but they're considered off, biohazard work. I mean, that's what we charge people. That's what we pay our guys. That's it's off biohazard stuff.
Right.
And I will rarely do something that's not biohazard because of the fact that we'll refer them to
Okay.
somebody else.
The only thing I can compare it to, which strikes me as like that's why I really loved them. They stood out to me. Was my vet. I had a vet when I was living, before I moved back to my mom's. You can get a plan where you can buy medicine from them,
Mhm.
but it's a higher price.
Oh, okay.
But she would refer. She's like, "Girl, you can get it from
Don't
me.
do it."
I can." She's like, "I'll gladly, but you save money if you do this."
Yeah.
Compared to I go to another vet and they're like, "Oh no, you have to get it from me."
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you lose this and this and this. I'm like,
Yeah.
it made me love
Yeah.
my previous vet more.
Yeah. Exactly.
For her, like just that one-on-one
Just
connection,
shoot it straight.
relationship.
Yeah, just shoot it
And that's
straight.
what y'all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we strive to be. We strive
Right.
to. Our main objective is to help people
Yes.
and not.
Take advantage.
Take
You wanna-
advantage
yeah.
of people because in
Yeah.
this time of
And
some of
that,
the situation that it happens, you're grieving, or you're just like, just do it.
and that's just good karma. Because at the end of the day, if you guys are doing good, that's just gonna bring good to you. So.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we say when we do jobs that,
Sometimes we do jobs where we lose money,
well, we're
break
losing
even.
money.
It's like, you know what? At the
But
end
you
of the
know
day,
what? It
we
is, at
helped
the end
them.
of the day, we're helping somebody.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We were able to pay our guys. Our guys were working. Whatever the case
We don't
may
have
be.
to, we don't pay ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's something that's like,
You know
okay,
what?
we can
Yeah,
pay our guys, we can do, it's okay.
Right.
people got out of a bad situation.
Especially it's only been, you said 2 years.
2 years next
Correct.
month. Yep. So we moved. I still remember. We moved on the 15th of June.
Oh,
June, or actually, we moved on the 14th. We were here on the 15th, and then by July.
this is your first home? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Here
and then-
in Houston.
here in Houston. So then by July, we were up and going. We had already, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember if we'd had our guys yet, but we had already had like some feelers out there. Like we had reached out, kind of. We were talking to people. By July, we were literally
What do you mean by feelers?
like we had talked to some people
Like
about
network? I guess?
yeah, as far as interviewing people for coming to work for us and stuff like that.
What kind of people do you?
So
Yeah.
Our guys-
You mentioned fire department.
yeah, so all of our guys literally fire department. Our initial team we moved here, we hired 2 guys, and we've still got those same 2 guys, and that's it. That's all we need at the moment.
Oh,
We've been talking the last probably 2 weeks about hiring some more people, only because
No, I'm alright.
only because I don't want to. This right now is still my baby. Like
Yeah.
it's still my baby. I still go to every job. I still work with the guys 100%. I'll never have them do anything that I won't do. So we're there on our knees, on our elbows. I mean, we're getting after it. But we've gotten to the point where I kind of want to bring some other people on, only because I don't want to do this forever.
right.
I kind of want to focus more on the actual business marketing side of it and bringing our company up. I mean, making it bigger than what we've done so far.
Yeah.
We could not have asked for 2 better employees at the moment. We got very, very lucky. We interviewed probably 20 people, and these 2 guys we picked couldn't have been,
You went in knowing that you only wanted 2.
Yeah, at the moment,
Okay,
in the beginning, because we didn't know what to expect. It's a different market. We didn't know the kind of reaction we were going to get, and
But you knew it was a
I mean, I-
necessary industry.
without a doubt, and we literally took off like a cannon.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
we were moving,
Mm-hmm.
and it was. I mean, we were constantly working, And with the fire department, their schedules are so lenient. They're 5 days off. I mean, they can literally they plan a vacation without having to take days off.
Right.
So they were so.
At one point, it was 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, right?
Yeah, a while back, but now they'll work 24 one day, they'll have a day off, and they'll work 24 the next,
Okay.
and then they have 5 days off.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're literally working 48 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
But their schedule is just it makes for a lot of downtime for them.
Yes.
It sounds like you have a good setup to have some field managers already. Like, for example, if you do hire on
Yes.
new people, the guys that you have now will pretty much.
Yeah, so
promoted.
we've brought these guys in from day one, and they've seen everything we've seen.
Yeah, should have cool titles like sergeant something.
Yeah, it's funny because one of them the other day was like, "Can you put like team lead on my shirt?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah, you'll be team lead of 2. Like, you'll be good." Yeah.
Assistant to
Yeah.
regional manager.
Yeah.
I'll join if you have a cool
Yes.
title. If not, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm unavailable.
So they've been awesome, and I can honestly say that I would trust them. If for some reason I didn't go to a job or whatever the case may be, I know that I can lead them and let them do their thing, and they would get it done.
So when you say you go towards fire department, are they still at the fire department?
They are.
Oh, okay, fire
They are
department.
still active fire department.
Nice.
But they just, they're at a point where
It's a side hustle to them,
it is. It is. And both guys, they like to work. I mean, one of our guys literally has 4 jobs.
Wow.
Nice.
He works for me, he works for HFD, he works for Southwest Airlines, and then he recently just joined on with this rescue, I think it's called like First One. It's like a rescue squad where they work out at the plants,
Okay.
and they're literally supervising like.
Does he have a family?
He does.
Yeah.
He's got a family, he's got 3 kids.
Nice.
But
How
he's
does he do
just
it?
a hustler. He's a hustler.
Man.
And he likes to work, and he's always there when I need him.
Good job.
And he likes to work. He likes it. It's always yes sir, no sir, and I matter how many times I tell him not to call me sir, he still does.
Tell him about what's up.
Yeah, and he's older than me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. They both are. They're both great guys.
Yeah.
They're both family guys. They both got kids, and they're
Sweet.
both just awesome guys. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
You said that you interviewed over 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So was there anybody that was like surprised, like they weren't expecting what they got into?
A couple people were. I don't think they knew what they were getting into.
How did you market that job opening?
So my main goal was literally to target firefighters.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
they encounter these types of scenes on a regular basis.
We're ready for it.
They know how to handle it. They know how to deal with it. Their schedules is also what helped. There were some people that were non-firefighters that we talked to, and they were literally deer in the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
When we interview, we've got a lot of questions, and then some questions they literally like what? Like as far as, are you afraid of spirits, or are you afraid of ghosts, or does anything kind of bother you? Because sometimes you walk into a suicide or something and you think, oh, this person's so haunting, and this person. You've got to kind of get the right mindset.
You can't have any
people.
distractions.
Were those questions based off your franchise? Like was
They
that
were,
suggestions?
and only because of the fact that they said that what, people have literally
Yeah.
turned it down. It's like, oh no, I can't. I'm a very spiritual person. I can't.
Right.
I don't want to deal with anything like that. And people believe it, and whatever you believe, that's great. It's up to you. I'm not going to judge you for it. But in my situation, I need to make sure that your head's clear.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to keep
and
composure
exactly,
during an extreme
exactly.
situation.
And the fire department. Those guys. They do a great job, and they
Do you look into physical abilities? Are there something that you look for? or not
yes and
necessarily?
no. I mean, a lot of it, I think, if you're a firefighter to begin with.
I'm considering it now.
Girl, look at me.
I know.
All right,
roaches don't scare me, I think.
Yeah, not until it jumps at you.
Yeah, that's true. Pee. I don't know.
It's on the face mask.
Yeah, chunky pee. But then Bob though, like that's how I feel like with Bob, I'm like I can
Bob
do
got
anything.
your back.
Yeah.
Bob gets it. Bob gets
Yeah,
it.
so I'm like, I think I could do it,
Yeah.
but then I'm like, I don't know. So
I mean, being a firefighter, I think our job is nothing compared to what they
Right.
do.
Right.
I mean, with all
Even their training.
the gear, the
Yeah.
equipment, so believe me, that's nothing. There's plenty of times where I'm literally hands on my knees and I'm just like, man, I'm kind of beat with it. And they're like, oh, drink more fluids. My guys are hounding. They're like, all right, cool, thanks.
Pedialyte.
Yeah, and they're used to that environment.
Right.
They're used to these situations, and they just, they wear a lot more gear than we wear.
Oh yeah.
Cool in a crisis
yeah,
kind of mentality
Exactly,
too.
exactly. So for sure. There's a couple times where we've actually used other firefighters as well, you know, friends of our guys. And
Okay.
they've come in and they've been awesome.
So y'all have extended the network through.
We have,
through them.
and some situations where it require, you know, a handful of people, whether
Like-
it's hoarding jobs
Oh, okay.
or, you know, Santa Fe High School. We brought some people into that as
So
well.
are you actively always looking for just like a contractor type?
It depends. It really just depends on the job. And if I can look at a job and say, you know what, it's going to take more than 4 guys, or it's going to take probably 6, 7, 8 guys just to get it done.
How many did it take for Santa Fe?
I'm saying that too, so in case a firefighter is watching and they're in the Houston area, if you guys want,
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
if you guys want some extra work, make sure
Yeah.
and hit these guys
Reach
up.
out.
They might need some help.
You know, Santa Fe High School, that's a whole other, you know, obviously situation in
Yeah.
itself. We actually had 10 guys
Okay.
working, including ourselves, on that job. And that took us 4 days, 4 12-hour days.
How was it different compared to residentials or apartments? Like, I mean, going into something like that, was that the first experience for you guys?
So that was the first school, that was the first tragedy, mass shooting that we've done. Our San Antonio franchise, probably about, I think it was 8 months before that. I don't know if you're familiar. Sutherland Springs, there was a church shooting in Sutherland Springs. Our San Antonio franchise actually handled that.
Okay.
Wow.
And there
That was
was
the outskirts of San Antonio.
that was on the outskirts of San Antonio. It's probably about an hour away. And they actually were working around the clock because there was a deadline. So they literally, it took them 2 24-hour
What's the
days.
deadline on that?
Well, because they had a memorial that they were getting ready to do.
It's in a church.
It's in a
Okay.
church. So yeah, so it was literally,
wow.
look, you've got 2 days. They were working 24-hour days to get that taken care of. Yeah, you know, Santa Fe, with us, you know, there were, walking around that school, I mean, there was still all the kids, all their stuff,
Yeah.
purses. I mean, they were going to bring the kids back in to just get their belongings. Because, I mean, there's cell phones, there's everything there. So we worked 4, 12-hour days, 12, 14-hour days.
4 days.
4 days.
12-hour days.
Yep. Just in that situation, yeah. And that's, I mean, it was bad.
It's like right now I'm thinking about it. And it's sad that we need as a society a service like yours, but it sounds awesome that there's somebody like you guys
Yeah.
Right.
that are actually compassionate about it
Yeah.
and can do it. Because you're right. Like at the end of the day, the alternative is having loved ones having to deal with it physically, and man, that's.
It's not a good feeling.
It takes a special kind of human being to do what you guys do, and that's awesome.
Respect and props to you.
Yeah,
Thanks for not
absolutely.
being a Neo again.
I
I feel bad for him. I hope he's not really.
feel
a
so
Neo.
bad because you know what? He's grown so much. He
Yeah.
just put such a negative light
But-
on our.
It was an old.
industry,
It was an
yeah.
old
No,
documentary.
he's
But
still
still, no, he's still like that.
He's still like this.
He sells T-shirts and people are all
He
about
probably
it.
thrives about it. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, there's people that enjoy.
I mean, it's because he
looking
really
into this.
wasn't bad. He's just very straight to the point. You can tell that it's that industry.
Right.
He's just.
But see,
over
you know,
it.
the only thing is I've never seen in the documentary. I've never seen him actually talk to a family member like that. It's always been kind of like
Yeah.
behind
to
the
the
back.
camera.
But
Yeah.
still, I mean, I don't know if he's just putting on a show for the camera, whatever the case may be. But
I think he was personally a cynic, and
Yeah.
I think he was being nice to the family because that was his job.
yeah,
I think he was
Yeah.
that aware of it, but not aware that there's I don't know, millions of
Yeah.
people watching you.
and I saw that one, and then I saw another one where
It was
he was.
cringeful.
He actually, it was almost like a, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those dirty jobs or whatever, right? Where one guy, it was similar to something like that. And
Okay.
he had another guy come in, and he's sitting there, and he's talking to this guy, and he actually makes this guy, it was a suicide in a bathtub, and he actually makes this guy like clean it and everything, and he's talking the whole time. The guy walked out. The guy from the job or whatever, the company, said, I can't deal with him anymore. I can't believe he speaks like that. He
Yeah.
walked out.
Yeah,
He said, I'm never talking to that guy ever again. He couldn't deal with it.
yeah.
So
It's
when
heavy.
when there's a death and all that, you guys don't actually deal with the body, the corpse.
No, and I've said it from the beginning. I've told her from day one. If I ever had to see a body, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
That's a good question. I never
There's-
thought about
there's
asking that
No
one.
way I could do it. I'm telling you right now.
So you only deal with what's left over.
Aftermath.
Ah.
Everything that's after the fact. Correct.
But even then, when they take the body, they don't take. Well, they do, right? They take
not
as
everything,
much
'cause
as.
you just said that you
I
guys
mean,
have
they-
toes and
They take as much as what fits in that body bag.
True.
Well, we've seen hair.
I've seen hair. I've seen skull,
Scalp.
Right.
scalp, brain matter.
Brain matter, I like saying that one. It's a-
You just
sorry.
made her.
Brain matter, I just
Yeah,
remember
I mean, there's some jobs where
We find mandibles, we find
Yeah.
teeth, we find.
Yeah. a nose. One time we found a nose.
Yeah,
One time,
like you find
literally
everything.
side of
Like
his nose.
when it's a shotgun victim, you find everything.
Right,
Teeth,
right.
everything you can like. You don't even.
And you
know
have to
what
pick
it
it up, right? That's,
Yeah,
that's what your job
yeah,
is.
definitely. We pick
I mean,
it up.
Could you
But that's
imagine
what people
if
don't
somebody
know.
came in after and found something like that?
Right, right.
So like a shotgun victim is probably the messiest job that we
It's a lot
can do.
of-
Just because
It goes everywhere.
it just goes everywhere.
The
Like, you
projectiles
can't-
just-
the projectiles
it's
just
everywhere.
it's
It's everywhere.
roof, it's you have to look in shoes, you have to look under the mattress, you have to look everywhere. Because imagine if we clean up, we leave, and then somebody comes back and
All that work for nothing.
no,
pretty
and then
much.
they're
Or
cleaning,
they
and then
find-
they're doing something, and they
They
find
find a
something.
tooth or they
Yeah,
find
Yeah,
something.
that's what I mean. All of that for
Yeah.
nothing because they
And
find
then-
something that's
Yeah.
traumatizing.
Yeah, I
for them.
mean, not necessarily
nothing.
they're gonna call us, but
Right.
the trauma they have to go through.
That last-
yeah.
that
You
last
guys are
shotgun.
considerate enough that you want to go
So
through the whole
what?
thing.
Yeah, of
So
course.
if we're there for so many hours, because we can be there for hours, we try not to work our guys more than 7 to 8 hours. Well,
That's still a
not
lot.
even
In
7
the
hours.
city,
Yeah.
But it's like
everything.
more than 6 hours. So then what we'll do is we'll call it a day, and then we'll ask the family, depending on
Okay.
if the
It
family
depends,
allows
yeah.
us. Because sometimes they're like,
The
no,
last
just
shotgun
do
we
it.
did it took 10 hours.
Yeah, so it's like,
Are the families usually very like need it done today and that's it?
sometimes they are, but
Okay.
sometimes we're like,
Okay,
can we
okay.
come back and just kind of do a walkthrough? Because after so many
After
hours
10
of
hours, it's
cleaning and on our
You just
knees,
need fresh eyes in the morning.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So-
we just need a walkthrough because you know what?
You might have missed something.
You-
Yeah.
you-
You're so focused on certain
We're
things.
missing
yeah.
things. Like
Yeah.
we've seen it, like we miss things, and so we try to ask them. Sometimes they don't want us because they just want it done, but we try to.
That's
go
why
back
the
and-
last one it was probably 10 hours.
Yeah,
And
It was-
I literally it would have been worse when I showed up. The daughter, she says, "Oh, I'm a nurse. I kind of cleaned up a little bit. His eye was here. I kind of cleaned it up." And I'm thinking, "Holy crap!" Like she cleaned. I mean, she was a nurse, so she was like, I kind of cleaned it up a little bit to save. She even said to save his dignity. I'm thinking, "Holy crap!" Like it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I mean, it was bad though. It was bad.
So I work in paint, and I'm familiar with a couple chemicals and stuff. I know it's not left field, but obviously you guys deal with some kind of chemicals, right? So what are the chemicals that are involved?
I
in the
mean,
industry?
we have different enzymes that we'll use, medical enzymes, same stuff they use in hospitals. Limonol is another one. I know you probably hear that on TV a lot, how they use limonol to detect, we have...
Blood stains.
Yeah, we have another, and the limonol we use,
You're
it's
on
not...
the roll today.
Yeah. Brain matter.
research.
It's not really for detecting.
Well, the one we have is limonol that kills all.
It's
the
used to
blood-
clean, basically.
Bloodborne pathogens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not luminol.
Oh.
Luminol is
Different,
what radiates.
Wait,
with
luminol and what was the other one? The first one?
Lemonol. It's almost like lemon, lemonol. Yeah.
Lemonol. Okay.
So it's different. So people think, oh my God, you can no. It's limonol is what we kill with every enzyme that we have. And
But-
then
That's what we use to clean.
So let's say after you clean it with lemonol, if you were to use luminol, would they be traces of?
No.
Oh, okay, so it completely takes care of
Yeah,
it.
that's
Okay.
that's exactly what we do. And then we have another concoction we call Blood Finder, and it'll literally, like, say, you look at a surface, you look at a carpet, I don't see nothing. You can spray it, and if there's something there, it'll fizzle up. So there's a lot of things to the blind eye you won't see.
And then we
for-
do medical
like
detergent
and
as
so
well.
so
Okay.
what it is like
Okay.
literally like if you go to like someone's cabinet. The other day we were at a house and it was there was cabinets in the kitchen and they were like wood cabinets, right? And you look at the cabinet, oh, it's fine, and then you spray it and it's just like you see all the spots. You see all the spots everywhere.
So you go back
And
at
that's
it again.
Yeah, that's the blood. You see a lot of it like in the grout sometimes too. You'll think, oh, the grout's going.
Right.
When y'all stay at a hotel, do y'all spray that?
no.
We've
expensive
We've,
now.
We've done hotels.
we've done some hotels,
Yeah.
and man,
Here too.
it's bad. We've done some hotels in Houston, and it's bad.
Oh man, you're scared.
Y'all some dirty. Y'all some dirty.
I actually because I saw it.
Not Lumina. We've done jobs that.
Yeah, no, we've done jobs in hotels.
No, I get it.
Suicide.
But I think it was not too long ago. I saw something online, and they said that if you were to check for human whatever fluids at any hotel, even 5-star hotels,
100%.
you'd be
I'm
surprised.
sure.
That turned me off. But I mean, I still go. But whatever.
You sleep in the car?
No, not
I mean, 100%.
Not anymore.
Like, we've done jobs. Literally, we've done jobs, and then you leave a job, and you're like, man, that next person stays in that room. That's
I
just
mean, we
crazy.
cleaned it, but
Yeah, we cleaned it, but
Has
still.
it changed y'all's view on vacations and stuff like that? Like,
No, my wife's bougie. She likes.
no,
Believe me,
it
it doesn't change.
claim it, girl. It's okay, girl.
We did do a job in a hotel. When we first got here, and it was unfortunate.
It was at a resort.
It was a resort.
Okay.
It was
By the
mass,
coast.
like
Okay.
family suicide,
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
murder suicide,
Oh, okay.
2 kids,
A
husband and a wife.
and a wife.
And we ended up staying there still, but
And we actually stayed in the room right underneath it.
Oh, wow.
yeah. So, but
Yeah,
It
crazy.
didn't-
Right underneath it.
it didn't dapper us because it happens everywhere.
Right.
That's life.
Right.
People tend to go to hotels because they don't want their families to clean up after.
And around
Yes.
around the
You know what,
holidays too.
and,
100% around the holidays.
Holidays? Is that where service booms?
Mhm.
I hear
Yeah.
January is a big month.
Around the holidays, people will go, and every time I get a call from a hotel, someone committed suicide. I mean, it's the same.
And you know what?
It's the
It's so crazy
same
'cause
situation.
We're in
every
this
time.
business and I see all these families hurt and people that, you have to walk in on it
Yeah.
and they do it at a hotel. It's kind of,
And it's always
I feel like it sounds like kind of weird, but I feel it's better for their families that they did it there than not in their household. and they have to
It's
walk.
the best.
It's
that
the best way they can do it.
Yeah.
it's always the same. There's always
And
bottle of liquor,
And I don't want.
there's
I understand what you're saying.
Like, I
Trash.
don't want to be like.
You're not encouraging
Always.
it, but you
But
understand the
I
reasoning
understand
behind why the
they
victims do it.
because they
Right.
don't want their families to find them and.
It's hard for me to say victims when it's suicide because
We don't know what they're going through.
right.
Yeah.
But I think I guess what I think somebody said it's a crime where it's everyone's a victim.
yeah.
You know,
Because you know what, the family's left to deal with it.
Right.
Like,
they're not the ones dealing with it.
that person was hurting so much where they had the guts to literally take their life.
Yes.
But who's left to deal with it?
Right.
The family is left to deal with.
That's what when we talk about, like I say victim, but then as soon as I say it, I'm like, wait, but then the victims are the ones that are still there.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
they're still
I used to
victims
believe-
because
I used to think that same
they
way.
still fight demons.
Yeah, I used to think that same way.
I'm gonna interject real quick, just in case if anybody's watching. Man, this is some dark stuff, but it's good stuff that has to come to light. If you guys need any kind of help, suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255. This is the kind of stuff that families would have to put up with, and of course, by no means do these guys want to deal with that stuff. But if you need help, make sure and reach out, because at the end of the day, even though your family might not be having to go through it and cleaning it up, they have to go through with the emotional aspect. So make sure and reach out. Get help if you need it, and
Yes, 100.
But man, that has to be tough. That just goes back to thank you guys for putting up with that stuff, because that takes a burden away from a family, really.
And that's when we first started, we said that was goal number 1. Try not to let family clean up after a loved one. Like it's not okay.
Have you come close
It's
to
not.
seeing a body? I know you said you would be done after that, but
No.
We've been to jobs where they're wheeling them out, or
Okay.
I mean, we're almost there, but it never.
It's-
I
I
just-
got there quick then. And
No,
that was
it's
the case.
usually when the police officers are already clearing the scene.
Yeah.
That's when we're allowed in because
Okay.
I mean,
they
I
have
did a
to
job
They
where
have to
obfuscate
do
and-
evidence and everything.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to do unless it's like murder or something. Then we also did what was the murder with the kids?
You're talking about the
recent one.
the resort. Which one?
No,
The
recent.
Texas City job.
The Texas
Yeah.
City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We did the one with the Texas City, and that one was hard for us. Like we drove up on it and we saw the balloons and
It was a big memorial. I mean,
It
there's
was
still
a bit,
people
like,
mourning and crying.
I'm a very emotional person, and they're just crying and crying, and he's like, just get it out. You need to speak to the family. And so we did what we did, and it was a very hard scene to deal with.
So you're the one that deals with families?
Well, it just depends.
Usually it's me. Well,
It
he's the one
depends.
that speaks to them over the phone,
Okay.
and kind of if he's there, he speaks with them.
Yeah.
So if anybody ever calls us, it's either me or him,
Okay.
but it's majority him.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it was, we're tag teaming it, and he's like, you need to speak to the mother or the grandmother at that point.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. So it was just so hard to just keep my composure.
They were just
Right.
kids,
Like,
man.
as a mother,
They were just
Oh.
kids. They couldn't even defend themselves.
yeah,
They were
as
just
a mother,
kids.
like somebody hurting my baby, like, you
Yeah,
know, it just
yeah.
was like, oh my.
You can't help but put yourself in their
mean,
shoes.
Yeah.
I think 6-month-old. I mean, just a
Oh.
baby. Like 6 months, 2 years old, and 4.
Or
Is it something y'all feel like y'all learned to like compartmentalize, or y'all just, you know, like you
I
said,
mean,
go through with it and okay, then
you
let's
know,
get to work, or
Yeah.
you're never gonna get used to it.
You never get
You're
used
never
to
gonna
it.
get used to it.
I think
ever.
that
Especially when it comes to kids. Maybe with the adults, it's like, oh, okay.
yeah,
Like we still, like, what was going through their person's
Yeah.
mind? Like,
Right.
I mean, so like she's saying, like with the kids, it really didn't. Yeah, it's definitely tragic, and it's not okay. It didn't affect me like it affected her. There's one job in all the jobs we've done that really bothered me. It was a 21-year-old kid who committed suicide, and I sat and talked with his dad for like 45 minutes. His dad's sitting there just telling me,
How old was the kid?
he was 21.
21, you said.
He was 21, so his dad's sitting there telling me, why did he do this? And I just wanted him to know that I was his
Dang.
friend, and we were.
You guys almost have to be counselors at that point.
Without a doubt, and that job, and it was nighttime thing. So we did the job, 10 o'clock at night. I get home, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I literally sat outside and just had to like decompress.
Right.
Because it's like, holy crap. And I mean, a part of me, I think, saw it kind of like it's my relationship with my father. Like we kind of like the way he talked, we kind of had the same thing, but she reacts to jobs different than I do. Obviously, like you said, the kids, and it's bad. That didn't bother me as much as something, 21-year-old kid where his dad literally just poured his heart out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest thing is that us being there to help these families, that's kind of what gets me personally through it.
Right.
That's kind of what helps me kind of cope with the situation, saying, you know what, it is a crappy situation, but I was here to help, and
Right.
I'm here to
Right.
to help this family kind of move on. So
It,
that's how I
it
think.
wasn't the experience that you went through with your family, and it wasn't a Neil and taking care of that.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I know we're
it's-
joking about the whole Neil perspective.
Yeah.
I know it's a joke, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like it
Yeah,
means
we
a
take
lot,
it- every
because
job that we
especially
do,
I went through
we
that.
Take it to
Pers-
heart.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We do. We pray for everybody, and we want to help everybody, and
And it says a lot, and I think it shows. It really does show.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to the whole thing that I was saying about karma. It's like you guys are doing it with very good intentions, and I mean it's part of life. It sucks, but it is part of life.
And there's some businesses out there that do 1-800 numbers, and and they don't get the boss on the line,
Did you drop a phone number? You didn't drop a phone number.
I did not. 713-999-4102. That number is directly to me. I will answer every single call, night or day. I've answered calls at 8 a.m. and I've answered calls at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So you guys are practically on call.
We are 24/7.
24/7.
Like 2 weeks ago, I was out had a murder-suicide 2 weeks ago. Show up and 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, show up and there's still police tape up. You know, they're still investigating. You know, a police officer actually reached out and called us. Show up and they're still there. I'm having to wait because they're still doing their thing. As soon as they're done, you know, families sitting outside in the front yard because they don't want to go inside because of what happened, you know, and we're there. And I think we came home and the sun was coming up, you know, so.
How important is it to know the backstory?
You know, to me, it's really not. It's really not, you know.
For me, I love the story.
I
do.
I think I would.
For me,
I would.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess
And I'm
it would
like,
depend.
I don't go to all
Okay.
the scenes like he does, but I'm like, hey, what happened?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, to me, it's really not.
It's a human drama at the end of the day. It's like, you know, because I mean, there's so many. There's never the same scenario. I'm sure every single job has been completely different.
Mm-hmm. They're all unique in their own little, you know, point of view or whatever the case may be. Whether it's removing carpet, sheetrock, a bed, flooring, whatever the case may be, every job is different. It all entails a different cleaning process. It all entails, you know, different ways to kind of navigate through
rat feces the other day.
I mean, yeah, I mean, little things like that.
I'm curious now that the baby's kind of moved away. Like, how does having this kind of industry?
How do you shield her from the negative?
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I'm sure she overhears brain matter.
Actually, you know what?
She does.
Actually, you know what? As me as a person, that's just my bad. I always have loved death.
Isn't that your bad?
And
No.
Because I think
she watches crime shows.
and
this
I
and
watch
that, so,
everything in between.
Yeah.
And my daughter's all about it.
yeah, but don't say it's your bad because
No,
you're teaching her a healthy,
Yeah,
a
because at
healthy
the end
And
of
version
she's
of it.
like, Mom, he's bleeding. Is he dead? Like,
everything
"Yeah."
is, oh, he died? Oh, they
He
killed
died.
him?
Oh, okay, cool.
They killed
like,
him? Oh,
whatever.
he's dead.
So the other day we were walking into daycare and I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice there was an extra door. And I was like, I guess so they can leave. She goes, like when the bad guy comes in.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like,
And it's crazy, like we'll go out in public or whatever, we're talking with people we just met. Oh yeah, they killed him. He's dead.
so I used to have.
So she's gonna be awesome
Yeah.
at horror bank.
She is more gangster than
Yeah.
I am.
So I used to have a Selena Quintanilla, you know Selena, right?
Yeah.
On my, like a thing in
The
the bottom.
button,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right? And then my father-in-law goes, oh, that's your mom's phone has Selena. She goes, yeah, you know she died.
Yeah. You know she's dead? Like, oh.
How old is she again?
She's
4.
4.
And I'm like,
4-year-old.
That little 4-year-old can probably handle more than all of y'all.
so like,
Yeah.
she technically doesn't know what we do
Yeah.
in life, but
She's aware.
She'll be
no,
prepared.
she
I'll
just
tell you
knows that I like to watch that stuff. My husband doesn't, but I do. And she'll give a shout out. She's like, oh my God, anything that's like
Gory?
green,
Oh, green.
because that's what we are, like
Yeah,
neon
our
green.
colors, yeah.
Okay.
She'll be like, oh,
Oh.
this BioTechs lollipop tastes so
Yeah.
good.
Oh, that's
Wow.
funny.
And she has BioTech shirts and she has everything. And
I can't wait to show and tell in elementary.
yeah. And I'm like, oh my
We
God.
talked about that too. I'm like, what about our career day? What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But you're going, I'm not.
And I
So wait a minute. Do you laugh? Do you guys laugh at like horror movies?
And what?
At horror movies?
I don't really
I
care to
love
watch
horror
horror. This one is all
Oh,
about
I love them. But I love,
You're like, ah.
no,
Yeah.
I love demonic
it.
movies.
The other day she tried to take, or she took me to La Llorona.
Oh,
was
so
that good? It was good?
Dude,
It was dumb.
it was all about
I'm sitting there watching like, oh, that's so stupid.
No,
and I'm
dude.
trying to play it off like,
Mind
okay, I
you,
don't
David's
want to
a
watch it.
coconut.
Yeah.
David didn't grow up with Mexican, like,
Oh, so you didn't know about La
heritage.
Llorona?
I mean, I knew about it.
No,
I was weird as
he
shit.
doesn't. He doesn't know about the Llorona.
Okay,
He
okay.
doesn't. His grandmother didn't tell him the Llorona, the creek, down the street.
Yeah, I didn't grow up
nothing.
someone telling me that.
No.
Okay.
You know who told me about that shit? My first grade teacher. I forgot. Miss Diaz.
First grade?
Miss Diaz, I
I saw that
remember.
finger go.
I remember Miss Diaz. my first grade teacher told us in class. How old was I? I had to be like
5,
six,
yeah.
6 years old, being taught about La Llorona about my school teacher.
No. My
There's a lot of
grandmother told
emotion
me
behind
all my
that.
life, and we used to live by the
Oh,
creek.
sorry, was I
So
yelling?
it was like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I love horror movies. My daughter's, I feel she's a little bit morbid, but I feel like she's ready for life.
Right, right.
Like, I'm ready for life. And Dave is like, what do you think? I said, what's the situation? If somebody were to break in her house right now, what do you do?
Mm-hmm. She's prepared.
And for me,
She's
I'm
aware.
ready. I'm like, I know where the guns are. I know where everything's at. I'm like, we're on.
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one that guns him down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't breaking in here.
Yeah, because death is just, it's one of those subjects that nobody wants to talk about, but it's healthy when you do.
Yeah.
You know, the more you know about it, of course,
Yeah.
you don't want her to have a fascination about it.
Well, she
Yeah.
hit me up.
You don't
She
wanna-
hit us up the other day when we were driving. Hey, Mom, do you not have grandparents? And I was like, because he has all his living grandparents,
Okay,
Oh.
okay,
except the granddads,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
They were
They
never
weren't
part
in
of
the
the
picture.
picture.
We always know. Okay.
They were
Yeah.
never part of the picture. And she's like, where are your grandparents? And I'm like, well, they went to heaven. Did somebody kill them?
Yeah, that's her. Did somebody kill them?
Did somebody kill him? Or did the cops kill him?
Yeah.
So for her, there's only a couple of ways they can go. Okay.
Like, oh,
I'm like,
God.
no, they just died of old age.
Yeah.
Don't
Peacefully
tell
in
your
bed.
teachers and
We
shit.
actually, a friend of ours, a couple weeks back, lost his mom, and we went to the services and stuff. And I sat her down, and I mean, she's 4. I sat her down, told her, we're going to the funeral. You know, a friend of mom and dad's, like, her mom passed away. His mom passed away, and we're going to say goodbye to his mom. Okay, cool. And then we start talking. Oh, we're going to say goodbye, right? His mom died. We're going to say goodbye to his mom. And I'm like, this little girl, like, okay,
She
yeah,
gets
we are.
it.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
gets it.
Unfazed.
Yeah,
Just
she gets
unfazed.
it. Yeah, she gets it. So that was her first funeral. Hopefully, it's
So
her last.
that's her biggest thing too. Like when she goes to school, and they walk up like BioTechs.
We already take her to
Right.
daycare. Everybody sees our truck and they look at us like,
It's kind of like that movie, My Girl, with
Yeah,
Macaulay Culkin.
yeah.
Like, you know, her dad was
The
a
funeral.
yeah,
Yeah.
funeral.
So
There
I'm
you go.
just like, okay. And I said, you know what? If somebody bullies you, you just tell them.
yeah.
My parents will clean up your feet, bro.
Don't
Hey,
mess with me.
Ever since I put up, I thought about like, and maybe I've already done it, but the perfect like Halloween costume is like you guys wearing Bob
Yeah.
with like blood and stuff. Be
Yeah.
Like, what?
I just got off work.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to change. I was gonna be late.
That,
Somebody bullying you in the dark. Be like, I heard you were talking shit.
that suit is very hot.
Yes.
It's like a
It's not
sauna
fun.
suit. It's not fun, especially in Houston weather.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah.
It's not fun. But we love what we do.
That makes a
We
big
really
difference.
do.
Yeah, make a
Mhm.
difference.
We really love what we do, and there's times where we can listen to music depending on the situation, and there's times that we can't, and because it's serious, and we're okay with that.
Okay. I was gonna ask that because
Like
I'm
if
a
it's
person
a
that
hoarding
needs to-
job,
I mean, it just depends. You know, sometimes
Yeah.
there's people there, sometimes there's not.
Okay.
Her and I did a job a couple weeks back where there was literally nobody in the apartment. It was just us, and nobody was coming in. Nobody. I mean, it was.
Okay.
We knew from the beginning. So you know, I had
Yeah,
I
we
had,
have more
I had my
liberties.
little headset on, and she had
Yeah.
hers on, and you know, we kind of did our thing.
Okay.
But it just depends. I mean,
so like with Santa Fe, they asked us when we first started, no pictures, even insurance purposes, like no
I mean,
pictures,
it's still
no
an
nothing.
ongoing.
It's an ongoing investigation, so we took no pictures. We asked our guys, everybody, to leave their phones in their cars
How-
and everything.
How are y'all protected in that case when they're asking for no pictures, but for insurance purposes, y'all need those
But
pictures?
we didn't go through the insurance,
And
we
the-
went through a different
So
aspect.
the actual FBI came in, stepped up,
Okay.
came in and paid for
Oh,
the
okay.
entire.
So it takes care of those
So
liabilities.
we didn't
Yeah.
need it.
So there's
So
that around
yeah,
it.
the
Okay.
FBI came in and stepped
Yeah.
up and said, you know what, we're gonna pay for it. whatever
Okay,
it
y'all are
is.
legit. God.
Yeah, and the FBI.
Should have
took
worn
care of
my hoops.
it.
What's a 5-year plan for y'all guys?
You know, my 5-year plan,
I'll be right there.
and even from the beginning, is I actually want to open up another one on the north side.
Okay.
I want to buy another franchise, and I'm going to put it on the north side, only so that it's easy to access farther north,
Right.
and then this one can handle farther south.
How many are there in San Antonio? Just that one?
There's one in San Antonio, there's one in Houston, and they just put one in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Nice.
So now there's one in DFW. I'm not sure if it's officially off the ground yet,
No.
but
not yet.
I
They're still
think it's
doing
probably-
training.
I think it's probably
Okay.
within the month.
Are y'all close? Is the communication close between all three?
It is.
Okay.
The Dallas people we haven't really met yet, only
Okay.
because they're just kind of getting started. The other San Antonio, like I said, I've known them
Right.
10, 12 years.
We
So-
call them up. Hey,
Yeah.
we're doing this, we're doing that.
And some things work for us here that don't work for them there, and some
Right.
things work for them that don't work for us. Like
Right.
it's just a constant open line of communication.
It's a very different environment.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they're two different cities, night and day,
exactly,
two
right.
different cities. You know what I mean? So some things, like I said,
We'll get
some
it
things
cheese.
work for them, don't work for us.
Right.
And vice versa. So yeah,
I
we're
look
always
forward to see
bouncing
more.
ideas off each other.
Yeah. So here on this podcast, we kind of bring up 3 questions to every guest to try to keep it uniform, kind of. The first question is, was it a go-to food?
Go
For
to
y'all.
food. I think I am going to say it goes through phases. I'm going to say crawfish. I moved to Houston, all of a sudden I became this crawfish aficionado. It's like,
Okay.
I'll be snobby now when people would like, oh, crawfish.
Who's the
like,
bougie one?
Yeah.
I got your
Yeah.
back, girl.
Yeah.
He's
so-
the
so
only one.
It's big
Oh,
What is
crawfish.
it like? What's the question? Like go to food, like
And then
in
it
general, like us.
Man, you know what?
Let's-
Yeah, no, you know what? In this particular case, which it sounds weird because you talked about it earlier, y'all eat sometimes after a job,
Oh yeah, we'll take
right?
our guys out.
So what? What's your go-to job? What's your go-to food after
Usually
a job?
it's
Okay.
Whataburger.
Nice.
Yeah.
My God, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves.
Where's the bottle?
Usually.
Let me refill you. You need a refill, man.
Oh, but anymore. Usually it's Whataburger, and
Like
our guys,
for a group, it's whatever.
our
Whataburger?
straight double meat, triple meat. Let's go. I'm like, all right.
Since she has a bottle in the hand, that was the next
Yeah,
question.
you guys-
What were you drinking today?
You want some more, Mama?
Yeah.
Jameson.
It's mine.
It's my
Do
favorite.
you want some?
He has to.
I'm not driving, so.
Yeah.
I got you. I owe
Yeah.
him for this weekend.
I love whiskey and I love Jameson.
So you're drinking Jameson and
Ginger ale.
Oh, let me
ale.
show I think I did better with
There you
it.
go. Here goes mom.
Hey, Mom. Miss Roxanne. Thank you so much.
I think that was his.
Oh, that was his.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
Mama.
was mine.
And I feel. And then was a good
last question is, what song describes you guys right now in this moment?
she
For
walked away.
Roxanne, I'm gonna go ahead and say the twerk song by Cardi B. No.
I knew it.
I'm too old for that.
No, you're not.
What song? I don't know, man. We listen to country music.
Okay.
We grew up on country music.
San Antonio.
That's how we are, country music. Coming to Houston
Okay.
has definitely opened up my my perspective of.
Because San Antonio is like a lot of Hispanic.
It is.
Latin and
It is.
Hispanic.
Tejano and country. I think it's the
a lot.
mainstream.
Yes,
Yeah.
coming
It's
here,
either or.
Coming here, you hear a lot more hip hop,
Yeah.
rap, stuff like that. And I like it. I like it all. Believe me, I like it all. But every now and then we like to twerk it up, right?
She said no. What's y'all song? Cause y'all y'all just had y'all's 5-year
we
anniversary.
did. So
that's
George Strait.
okay.
That was our one of our wedding songs, and there's another.
The share.
The Share. And then there's another song by a guy named Kyle Park. He's a Texas
see.
country artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's what was the name of that song? She's gonna kill me.
I don't know.
She actually walked down the aisle to this song rather than the normal.
Come on, Mama.
It's Kyle Park. It says.
If we were to hear it, you know what it was.
I don't even know the name. It's
Yeah.
like I don't even remember the words.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the reason we did George Strait was because our first movie together,
Sober.
sober.
Okay.
So
y'all
we-
are my kind of people.
Yeah.
No,
So we used
because
to hang out.
Wait, we've been friends for years.
Okay.
and
How many years?
years, like.
It's probably been.
So we've
Were you
been
high school friends? Or college
No,
friends?
so we've been married
Yeah.
5. We've been dating 7,
Okay.
and we've probably been friends for 10.
Yeah.
Nice.
So out of the 10, we've always met each other, not by hey, let's go hang out. It's just like hey,
Group
you're
of
here,
friends.
Yeah.
Right.
and
Oh,
it's like
nice.
oh hey,
Okay.
you're here.
Yeah.
So we've always been that type of friend. So then one day we were kind of hanging out a lot more, and we're like, well, I told him,
try this
and I told him, I said, well, I don't know if I really like you if
Yeah.
I'm not drunk.
Cool. Kicking the nuts
Right.
right there.
I mean, she's being honest.
Because I like you when I'm drunk.
Right. It's a good
You-
time.
Yeah, it's great. But I don't know if I like you sober.
Right.
So let's try it sober.
Took one time.
It's like,
Yeah. So one time I was like, okay. So then we watched the George Strait movie.
Pure Country.
Oh, that's the one.
She was
I
like-
did it.
Haven't been able to shake her since.
Just so you know, he didn't get in my pants for a long
hey, that's when you know it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he cuddled a long time.
What the
He
shit?
did.
It's very manly, man. It's very manly, man.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Don't worry.
Yeah, he cuddled for a long time. So, but yes.
I mean, that's because there's a lot of risk when there's a long-term friendship.
Yeah.
So I could understand.
Well, we
why.
weren't friends like
I mean,
we
we were
weren't
like-
friends like you guys. Like, hey, we're friends. We're doing this. Like,
Right.
It was
we're.
more like we were like.
It was like
we'd see each
acquaintances.
other out,
Like,
we'd
we'll
hang
see each other out.
But
Hey,
still, I mean,
good.
it was still
Yeah, I
a
know.
good amount of time.
Believe me, like you.
Like, I have a lot of acquaintances
You
like that.
you shoot your shot and they say no and it's like they're not your acquaintance no more.
Exactly. That's what I mean. There's
You
still
know
a
what, though?
risk.
And I'll tell you from like when I met my wife and stuff, like that makes you want it more.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I tried a bunch. She told you.
Cuddle like a motherfucker.
Yes, mama. Yes,
Don't
you did
block-
it right.
don't cock
And
block
I
it, girl.
said, and I cuddled you and you married me.
I tried.
That's
for a
what
long
my
time.
wife tells me all the time. I'm like, well, shit, you were holding out. She's like, well, you shit. She tells me the ring. I'm like, all right.
No, we were friends for a while, and
Yeah, I tried for a long time.
So you did try.
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Be sitting
Why don't
around
blame
like
you?
I'm like, God damn, what the like? What's it gonna take? And just
well,
kept
it
pushing,
just
kept pushing.
it was me as a person. Like, okay, I came from nothing, and I had it, and then I made myself something. I graduated. I bought my own house. I did this, so I felt like I needed somebody that was like,
As ambitious.
yeah, and he is. He's 100%. He's my equal.
Right.
But I always thought, as a woman, oh, I need that man.
She needs the sugar daddy.
You wanted somebody
The
that would put as much
sugar
effort
dad. No,
as-
sugar daddy. Like, I
Like she
needed
thought she needed somebody that literally like over the top. Oh.
wine and like, and I did that.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and I
Right.
did that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't like it.
Right.
I was like, then they try to change me.
Right.
And, oh, you do this, you drink too much.
Right. Right.
And then I met Dave, and it's like, we were perfect.
Right.
We're equals. Somebody that was my equal. And we're
You
good.
drank the
Who
same
drinks
amount?
who?
Oh.
It depends.
I was trying to
It
be
depends.
fair here. I was like, I drink the
we
same
go through
amount.
stages.
We go through stages because I used to outdrink him back in the day. But now that I've been here in Houston, I don't drink as often because we're not the type of couple that comes home and drinks at all.
Okay.
Like we
Yeah,
don't
this
drink
is
at
a rare
home.
occasion.
This is
So-
rare.
I'm glad you're sharing this with us.
Yeah, we don't drink at all.
That's
We
good.
don't come home and like, oh, we had a hard day. We drink.
Yeah.
We go out to drink or we drink with
Socially.
friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, we don't drink just
Okay.
because. So we're not by ourselves drinkers.
Mhm.
I've never been the type of woman that says, oh, I pour myself a glass of wine.
Right.
So it just depends. I think my tolerance has went down.
Yeah, I think I got her now.
And I think...
You were still worried.
And I think there's times when I go back home to San Antonio and I think, oh yeah,
She
I
thinks
can.
she's on spring break.
I
97.
think I can still drink the same like old Roxanne, and I just can't.
Right.
And I just,
Before Roxanne used to turn into Natasha.
Okay.
Oh, alter
oh,
ego.
and we're not recording, right?
We didn't want to see
Well.
Natasha. Believe me.
My alter ego starts with Carla.
There you go.
Starts.
It starts with Carla, yeah.
No,
Because I just recently found another one.
Yeah. Natasha's like when Red Alert comes on, stripper comes out.
So this is the Cardi B side, right?
Pour some
Yeah.
sugar on
That's
me.
what
So, so Maria's very mad. Maria gets very mad.
Ooh, she rolls her R's with that one.
Yeah. Maria,
Cabron.
Maria gets very upset.
Okay.
And then it's just me.
We like just you.
Just me.
I like you. I like you.
For me, you get, if you, well, you know me right now, but for me, it's like you get me 24/7. I'm not a sad person. I'm not a mad person. You just get me like
Genuine.
genuine.
Yeah.
Like, there's people that are up and down. I'm
Mhm.
just kind of.
I get louder.
Do you?
It's bad. If I saw that first.
So when I go to, so I guess because I'm Hispanic or whatever, and we're Hispanic or whatever. So when we go to jobs, I feel kind of, I think it's just in my head. We go to jobs and we do cleanups, and I feel like they think I'm the Maria, like in the
Okay.
background. You know what I mean? Like,
You
Yeah.
think so?
Just-
I think
well-
it is you. I think it's just in your
you
head.
know, like, oh, this is, because he always introduces me, like, this is my wife, and I'm just like, hi, nice to meet you. Sorry for my condolences or whatever.
Well, how do you act like? Yeah, it's tough.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
write that down, like,
I would be the same. It's
like,
awkward.
it's awkward, and I just always feel like,
Because you don't want to be with all smiling to someone that just lost
and
someone.
I'm like,
right.
oh, I'm like the lawnmower lady that comes with her husband, like, it just
You really are the Maria, right?
yeah, the Maria on the side, you know, but we do good,
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
balance each
yeah.
other off.
So
I
he
like
did
that.
he did the business end, and I did the biohazard end, and my OSHA stuff came through too, because he would have never known about OSHA. Like when Harvey came through, we didn't get affected, but our garage kind of got a little bit wet.
Okay.
So I had kept on telling him, we need to get risers, like plastic risers, like, you know, like at the stores, like they do plastic risers. So then we ended up getting them.
Oh, for the equipment in the garage.
No, for the biohazard stuff, you have to, like by OSHA guidelines, you have to keep them
Oh,
level.
okay. Really?
Because at my job I did it, but no other company knows that. Because if they're not OSHA, they don't know that.
So, what's the reasoning behind it? Like, apart from
Well,
a
say it was on
natural
the
disaster?
say it
Say
was
it's
on the
floor.
ground. Say it was on the ground and it got flooded.
Radiation, corrosion.
Say it was on.
And then
Say
the blood
all the
just
all the
goes.
boxes were on the ground and it got
Okay.
flooded. The boxes got flooded. All the blood, everything
Oh,
starts
okay.
getting into the water.
Okay.
I mean, it's bad.
So it's just, you have to protect yourself.
There's little things like that I mean, to me, it's a pain in the butt. I don't like dealing with it.
And
Yeah.
I deal with it.
And through OSHA, are there requirements or deadlines for how long you keep it? Because you say you there isn't really, but through OSHA,
There's
is
not.
there?
It just
There's not,
depends.
but we try to get it taken care of.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
because-
less liability too.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously it costs money. The more you have, the more expensive it is. But I mean, who wants to have that stuff? Like,
Right.
They're
I mean, I got all my fishing stuff in my garage. I like to fish. I like to do my stuff, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna go out there in the garage, and then there's
Yeah.
42 boxes of
Stuff that you already know what's in there, yeah.
You know what I mean? So we get
Yeah.
it taken care of.
It's like airtight, I'm assuming.
I mean, it's all bagged up. It's all boxed up. It's all taped, sealed, everything. Yeah. So the company literally comes, has a dolly, and they pull the dolly and they start packing them, and then they take them, and it's a big like 18-wheeler truck, and they take them, and everything's sealed up and contained. And I've never seen what they do
Yeah,
on the
the
other side,
incineration,
but
we just
I'm
need
assuming they literally
they
take
follow
it,
the whole
put it on some sort of
Yeah.
conveyor belt, and literally take it into
Incinerator.
So whatever you guys put it in, that's what's taken away.
And it goes by weight. So they literally charge us, I think each box has to weigh less than 50 pounds,
40.
40 pounds, something like that. So each box weighs less than 40 pounds, and then they charge us per box.
That's what a
Each
person
box.
can hold liability wise.
So each box costs, X amount of dollars, and that's how they charge us, yeah.
Do you have that that deadline or something included in the contracts for family members?
No.
No, we don't. I mean, it's literally, that literally is on us.
Okay.
Yeah, that's on our.
Because to me, I guess I'm more frugal.
Yeah.
I would just have kept it like a month, and I would
Yeah.
say like you have a month to claim anything if necessary.
Well, technically,
Yeah.
we don't try to, like with family members, and we try to work with them, and we try to,
Facilitate it.
yeah, like
yeah,
we don't
100%.
want to be like, oh, okay, we're gonna hold this or hold that.
That's
we
true.
just kind of let it go.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, we literally, when it comes to the families, we try to just, everything that's in that little area, that little aspect, that's what we're going to charge you for. That's what we're going to handle. Everything else, let us worry about. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to charge you for delivery or for processing, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Things like that. Like, it's literally what I'm doing here. That's what I'm charging you for, and the rest is kind of on us. So I mean, we've eaten across on a lot of things in the past,
Just because we want to help.
and like we said, it is what it is. You know, I mean,
We feel that
we've made it up on
we
other jobs, or
like
whatever the case may
karma, and we feel like we bless people
Mhm.
at points, and that it'll come back to us at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Also because, I mean, it sounds morbid, like y'all mentioned earlier, but death is such a job security kind of business. It's inevitable.
It's-
we're all
it's
going
not
down
going
there.
anywhere, like a
Exactly.
hairdresser.
be. Yeah, it's not
Like,
going anywhere.
It's gonna happen.
So, yeah. And the fact that y'all are doing it with the, best
Good
intentions,
intent,
pure
yeah,
heart,
best intentions.
compassion, all that speaks volumes. And I'm glad y'all are welcomed us to
Yeah.
your home and
No, of course.
allowed
Thank you
us
guys,
to
man.
showcase you
Awesome.
guys.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect it to be like this coming into it. Yeah, but
Tell me more.
it like literally blew my expectations out of the
Cool.
water.
Cool.
Like 100%, dude.
Thanks.
And if
So
there's
awesome.
if there's anybody that you know that has a small business
Yeah.
that you want to call out and say, hey, come on here, like let us
Yeah.
know, and
100%
we'll,
awesome.
we'll make sure and try to reach out and try to get something scheduled. But yeah, again, thank you guys for letting us in your office, in your
Yeah,
home,
you're
and,
welcome.
Yeah.
and letting us
For sure.
learn about this
Yeah.
this industry. Of course, it's something that we don't, like you said at the beginning. Nobody knows or expects to need it, but when
So
the
it
time
happens.
comes,
Yeah.
Then what? Right?
now they know how to reach
And I have
you.
to throw out there, she's been playing with dolls, but I don't see any decapitated head. I think it's very healthy, daughter. You're happier. Good job, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
yeah.
And the
She's
dog.
good.
Yeah.
She's good.
I'm over here like, oh my god, Erin, you broken your head. No decapitation.
Everybody's just naked.
Yeah. Everybody,
Hey,
all
it's my
dogs are
kind of
naked.
party, alright?
That's a whole nother story. I don't know.
I don't understand why, but they're just all
Yeah.
naked.
But no, yeah, thank you guys again for having
No,
us.
thank you. for
And
coming.
one thing that we do like to do, and if you guys will let us, we like to do. We're planning on doing follow-ups with a lot of the interviews that we do.
Yeah.
So of
Just because
course-
we're barely getting started.
Yeah.
100%.
you said that you have a 5-year plan, and we
Come
would
back
like
and see
to,
us.
We would like to follow up in maybe a year
If that's
and see how things
Yeah.
are going, and of course it's a necessity. Yeah. Normally I don't want to say I hope you guys use these services, but
And that
it's a necessity.
we
It's,
tell people
it's
that
a-
every time.
What's your
It's
motto?
like, I hope you
Yeah,
never
that is-
have to call us, but if you do, we're here.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
This is gonna wrap up this episode of Let's Grab a Drink. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure and like and subscribe and share this video. And if you guys need these guys' service, BioTechs, they are here to help. And it sounds like they are the ones to go to because they will care about your situation.
David and Roxanne Morales
Yeah.
with BioTechs.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right. Woo-hoo.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yay!
That was great, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Cheers.
Thank you guys so
Cheers.
much.
We
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
killed the whole bottle. By the